What is up, my friends? It is quite simply the biggest game of the season so far. The Reds travel over to Paris to take on PSG, and the team news is in. The 11 is, as you see it on screen, I'll go through it for you momentarily, give you an eye about the subs as well. Ladies and gents, I don't know how you're feeling about today, but for some reason, I'm pumped. I'm nervous, but I'm pumped. This could be a classic. I don't know, something deep down inside of me just, despite all the evidence to the contrary, makes me feel like we may see a performance. I don't know. This could be a hiding to nothing. This could be me setting myself up for a fail. But right now, I've decided I'm team optimism for the moment. And let's see how the Reds get on with the start tonight. The team, as you can see it on screen, has now been confirmed. That is Georgi Mamardashvili in goal. Joe Gomez at right back, Milos Kerkez at left back. Your centre-back pairings for today, your captain Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Kanade. A midfield of Gravenberch, McAllister and Dominic Soboslai. Verts on the left, right-hand side, Jeremy Frimpong, despite some calls that maybe we'd see Rio in the starting 11, not there. But Hugo Ekitike is in the middle. On the bench today for the Reds as well, we have got Isak. That's the big news. He is on the bench. So it's Woodman, Mescure, Isak, Salah, Chiesa, Jones, Gakpo, Robbo, Nioni, Rio. Big call. No Salah in the 11. What are we saying? He's certainly shaking it up. He's certainly mixed it up. And will he get a response from the players? Well, look, we were treated to a wonderful game last night between Real Madrid and between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. The quality on display last night really shows us what's in store. But this is an interesting one. So for me, if we're looking at it, I would imagine Jeremy's going to be on the right wing, Wirtz on the left wing, and Liverpool are going to look to keep it tight and compact. Could there be times where maybe we slip into a back three with Gomez there? I don't know, but let's wait and see. He's got to do something different. We can't go over there tonight and be as predictable as we were in the past. So let's have a look now at the team for Paris Saint-Germain, which Connor's just dropped into my lap. It is Sofanov in goal, then Nuno Mendes, William Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, João Neves, Vitinha, Warren Zaire, Emery, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Desiree Doué. That is the starting 11 for PSG. So, how are we doing? Are we going to win this one? Are we going to get a result? Let me know in the comments. Itachi, happy anniversary, my man. Happy anniversary. Said, it can't get worse. Let's keep something optimistic. We win 2-1. I will take this tie being alive going back to Anfield. If we can survive an early onslaught and find a way into the game, who knows what's possible. We know last year over here was a very, very difficult game that by the grace of Alisson Becker's 2 gloves, we managed to get a win. So here's hoping for a repeat of that result tonight, albeit I'd like a better performance. Where there is delusion, there is hope. Ibu Kanades. Look, there's got to be hope. If we don't have hope, dude, what's the point, you know? So that I do have. Not too much of it, but I'm team optimistic tonight, for now anyway. Right, what else we got in the chat? If they only lose 1-0, then that's pretty good. Look, if we keep this tie alive, and what do I mean by alive? Well, I guess no more than a 2-goal deficit would be at least keeping it alive. The big fear, of course, is one that I understand, that this game could be put past us tonight, but we aren't there yet. This is it now. Last chance saloon for these players to make something meaningful happen this season. The Premier League is the Premier League. We'll see what happens over the next few games. But tonight, they have a chance to rescue something from this season. And the odds are stacked against them. Nobody expects us to get a result over there. But if there is anything left in the well, these guys have to go deep tonight and try to find it. They got to go out there, play with confidence, take risks, play on the front foot, be aggressive. All the things that we know are going to come in the other direction from Paris Saint-Germain. Right, Blaine, how are you, my man? Say, come on, boys. We're still Liverpool at the end of the day. Show some fight and pride for the shirt. Darn tootin'. Darn tootin', my friend. Absolutely. And they've got to. It's got to be minimum 100% effort tonight. Because if we are aggressive, up in their face, who knows? They aren't without some flaws themselves. Defensively, they can be gotten at. Of course, we all know about that great midfield and attack of theirs, but we've got to go and have a go tonight, and we've got to put our best foot forward, and every other cliche that I can throw out to you over the next hour or so. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to pay your entrance fee. Hit that like button. Do get it up as quick as we can. Let's try and get to that 1,000 likes well in advance of the kickoff. Itachi said, 1 year with the best community. Much love to you all. And right back at you, my friend. Right back at you. So I woke up today, Itachi, And for some reason, I didn't have the same sense of dread that I have for most of the week building up to this game. Today, it's match day, and I guess I've got my match day head on. But I've been thinking about what my speech would be if I was in that dressing room. And I think on a night like tonight, you don't need too much. So it would be something along the lines of, the whole world expects you to get beaten tonight. Go out there and show them they're wrong. Go out there and remind them why you won the league last year. Go out there and remind them why we have as many European Cups as we have. Go out there and remind them that we're on the quest for number 7. That's what I'd be saying. Nothing over the top, nothing too dramatic. Just everybody expect you to fail tonight. The obituaries are being written. The newspaper journalists have their pens at the ready, talking about a capitulation. Don't let it happen. Go out there, fight for every ball. Silence that crowd. Caleb, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Craig, do you think he'll be sacked if we lose? I don't know. Is the honest answer, Oliver, mate? I don't know. You know, you'd like to think if we're given a hide, maybe. But at this point, who knows what happens. There's lots of chatter as well. Keep an eye out, see if Alonso or his agent are in and around that stadium tonight. There's been a bit of chatter on socials about that. I think it'll be a real fire of an effort tonight and we'll stay in the tie. I don't know, yeah. I get that feeling as well. El Scouts are right. You know, if there is a competition that we know these boys can get themselves up for, it's the Champions League. And look, we seen last night, I really thoroughly enjoyed that game between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. And it reminded me exactly why I love a pacey wide player who has a go at their fullbacks. Because Michael Olise was sublime last night. Absolutely rinsed the Real Madrid left back over and over and over. And that lets us know what the standard is. If we want to have any real hope to be in Budapest to try to win the Champions League, well, not only are we going to have to get past PSG, we're likely going to have to get past Bayern Munich as well. Although I'm sure Madrid would have something to say about that. Is it bad I'd rather lose if it guarantees he's got to go? Again, this is something, mate, that comes up quite a bit. And I'm not going to judge you for how you want to feel. I understand the pain you're feeling as a Red at the minute. For me, though, I can never want my team to lose. And I'm not saying anyone who does is an asshole. I'm just saying, for me, despite the pain, despite the frustrations, I always want Liverpool to win. Because, you know, I'm looking at it like this, Sam. If the worst comes to the worst and he's here next season, it's probably because we've done something semi-decent between now and then. At least that's how I'm trying to convince myself anyway, my man. Nimrod, how are you, sir? Said, I'm sure... we're going to win. Every time Slot is with his back to the wall, about to lose his job, he manages to win and survive. That's his speciality. Well, let's see if he can pull one out of the bag tonight. What's this one? So, James Pearce tweeting, the big news is that Salah's dropped to the bench. 2 changes from Saturday with Frimpong and McAllister recalled. Jones also makes way. Isak amongst the subs. Look like a back 3 with Frimpong and Kirkes operating as wing-backs. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Let's see if that is how it lines up. A back 3 with the 2 boys as wing backs. Look, I'm not against it. I'm not against it one bit. You know, it would be a good way to mix it up. And, you know, if we don't play the 3 centre-backs that are available tonight, when are we going to play them all together? So it is time to roll that dice. And let's see if James Pearce is right on that one. We'll keep an eye on the formation when we're seeing the boys out there. Bransfield, how are we? Hope you and your dad are well, my friend. Hey, Craig, sorry it's been a while since I was in, but hopefully we can get something tonight up the Reds. WFM. Never apologise, my friend, for life getting in the way. We appreciate whenever you are in with us, and love to you and your dad over in Sweden. Blizzard said, dreading this, tad hopeful. What an assist from Trent. Yeah, it was a great assist. Now, he was out of position for one of... Bayern's goals, but it was a lovely assist. It was just a really good game. Bayern Munich should have won that. They should have been 2-0 up after 15-20 minutes. There was mistakes in that Real Madrid team, and at least the tie is now, I guess, somewhat open, but I can't see anything other than Bayern beating them again. You know, they were by far the better side, in my opinion. If we put heart into it and fight, could be a good match. Said Derek. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you with us for 5 months as well, my man. Caleb. Hey, what teams is there any that you like in the Bundesliga and La Liga? Oh, Barcelona in La Liga. Barcelona have always been my Spanish team. In Bundesliga, probably Dortmund, but I certainly wouldn't say that I like. But if I had to nail my colours to the mast. It would probably be there because of course, the Jurgen Klopp connection, the I'll Never Walk Alone connection, and the fact they're just a great set of fans as well. Appreciate you though, Caleb, and I hope you're having a good week, my friend. Lucho smoked Trent. Oh, he was really good as well last night. He was. All the wide players in that team, the frightening attacking talent in that Bayern Munich team. And you look down and you see them bringing Jamal Musiala off the bench and you're just thinking, wow, that's a deep squad. 5-4-1 is criminal. Is it? You can call it 5-4-1, or you could call it, I guess, a 3. How he lines this up, I don't know, but you could go with 3 at the back, 5 in midfield, 2 up top, 1-10 off a forward. Look, it'll be interesting to see, but I'm glad that he did something different, or maybe he's going to do something different, because what we can't do is walk out there and be obvious. We can't go out there and play exactly how they expect us to. You've got to try and do something different to shake this up. Champions League team to the rescue. Come on, the Reds, said Tony. How are we, Tony? And thank you, mate, with us for 9 months. We could have had a baby, dude. We could have had a baby in that time. I'd say Bayern are favourites with that squad. Yeah, look, I was so impressed by them last night. I really, that was attacking talent, and that was a real confident team as well. You can see the Bayern Munich are in a good place. What predictions, Craig? I went 3-1 loss, but tonight, call me delusional. 2-2. That is probably quite delusionally optimistic, but yeah, 2-2, why not? JXCK, how are you, my friend? Look, it is a big call to leave Mohamed Salah out, but can we really argue against it? I don't think we can. If we're being honest about it, with all due respect to the great man, don't think we can really argue about it. Certainly when he's not putting Gakpo in either ahead of him. So, yeah, I'm open to this one. It'll be interesting to see if we do get any minutes off the bench from Isak, which of course would be a bonus. And it's great just to see him back in the matchday squad. Should have gone with the good old 4-4-2. I don't think we could have, Dan, because we don't have the ability to put Isak on from the start, mate. Unless, of course, maybe you're talking about putting Salah up top alongside. But, look, we have to do something different. So let's see how it pans out. We've got an hour till kick-off, so plenty of time to have a chat about this one. Again, let me run you through the Paris Saint-Germain team again, just in case you haven't seen it. It's off and off in goal. Then Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho and Mendes making up the back 5. Warren Zaire, Emery, Vitinha and João Neves in midfield for them, with Desiree Doué, Ousmane Dembele and Kavisha Kvaratskhelia up top. The Liverpool bench today, the Liverpool 11 today. Joe Gomez is at right back, although James Pearce reckons we could be going to a back 3, so it will be a back 3 then of Gomez, Van Dijk and Kanade, wing backs in Kirkes and Kirkes and I was going to say Ryan Gravenberch. Kirkes, Jeremy Frimpong, and then obviously the midfield of McAllister, Gravenberch, Soboslai there, Ekitike there, Wirtz there. It's going to be interesting, this one. I wonder if they've been working much in training on this formation, or is it something that maybe he just thinks they can naturally take to, because of course not much time to train in between the game against Manchester City at the weekend and this one, so let's wait and see. Is it true Slot has brought the players to France for the game by coach and not by plane, as reason we're losing due to travelling by plane? So there's certainly been plenty of chatter that they went by coach. I have no idea what the reason behind that would be. Usually you think the quickest way to get there, give you as much downtime, as much time to prepare as possible. But look, again, if we're mixing it up to try and change something, I'm open to anything that makes us at least potentially better. Proud to be a part of this. Love the work that you do. Thank you, Blizzard. Really appreciate you being in as well. 15 months with us as a member. Absolute legend. If City thought anything, it was that Liverpool, don't want to concede an early goal. From there, it's likely to snowball, especially with their attack. Well, we definitely don't want to concede an early goal. To be fair, we did go, 37, 38 minutes, something like that, before we conceded against City, but it was again conceded the second one just before half-time, and then one within 5 minutes of the second half. So yes, the aim when you go away from home in Europe is definitely to frustrate your opposition, quieten down the stadium and not give them anything early to get behind. You know, we know how noisy it's going to be in there tonight. We know how supportive the PSG fans are to their team, and it's going to be a difficult night. But fingers crossed we don't do anything stupid in the opening 15 minutes. I was riding my bike today wearing a Liverpool shirt, and I had a Galatasaray fan walk past me and spat at me. Honestly, if that happened to me, I'd split him open with the bike. I'm not even joking. Honestly, spitting at somebody is the lowest thing you can do. So if somebody shouted at me, fair enough, I'd keep on cycling. Well, I wouldn't be cycling, would I? But honestly, if somebody spat at me, I'd be getting off and I'd be getting a slap. Simple as that. That is disgusting. But right. Jason said, "What is up, my friends? Could be back three in possession, but the double right back is great. You can see Kirk is getting isolated again. It'd be interesting to see how we match up tonight, and if it takes PSG a little while maybe to figure it out, or if they can find a way to exploit us early. Fingers crossed. Maybe we can start quick and grab a goal. Who knows?" At the end of the day, the players are more than capable of defeating PSG. Just hope they can show it. Exactly. That's it. It's got to. There's no more time for waffle or words or, we'll figure it out. Now is the time. This is it. The FA Cup's gone. The League Cup's gone. The Premier League's gone. If you want silverware this season, this is your only chance. You've got the second leg at Anfield for the quarter-final. So, again, time to get a decent result over here and back ourselves to do it again at Anfield. Craig, who do you think is going to win or concede first? Look, I think they're favourites for a reason to win the game. But like I said, if we can make sure this tie is still alive when we bring it back to Anfield, I'll take it. But you never know. You just never know. Would you put Wirtz in the midfield, Szoboszlai on the right, and Gakpo Chiesa on the left, or even Rio? So in my preview, I did have Szoboszlai on the right, actually, because my idea was to try and go there and contain, keep it tight, and give away nothing silly. Wirtz, I'd like to see Wirtz in the future, and I just give him freedom. Give him freedom to find these pockets of space, express himself. And I certainly wouldn't be... I'd be telling him to make sure to pull the trigger. Back yourself. You've seen the goal he scored for Germany in the international, so wouldn't mind seeing a bit of that for Liverpool. So just keep confidence with him. Let him take up these pockets of space because he is one of the players that can unlock a defence. So hopefully tonight he can do that. On the right-hand side, if Frimpong is playing in a wing-back role, probably more suited to him. That's where he played for Leverkusen, and I think where he played for the Netherlands. So let's wait and see. We know he has the engine to get up and down the flank. Same with Milos Kerkez on the other side. 50 ping Skiller, how are we, sir? Appreciate you. Happy anniversary. 1 year, with us as a member. Booty the Bear said, "I really hope we can win the Champions League for Salah's send-off." Oh, not only that, imagine we won it, as you've said rightly. Salah's send-off would be great. But then you also have Szoboszlai and Kerkez winning it in their home country because the final's in Budapest. So, there's lots of incentive there for these guys. Which player would be in charge of the films watched on the bus? Oh, it's a good question. Which player? It depends. I don't know. See, I don't really... Movies and that doesn't do anything to me other than distract me. So, I'd be more... You can have whatever movies you want, but I want to be in charge of the music. That's the key point here. You want to make sure that they're going out there walking on water. Now, honestly, if ever there was a time to pull a speech out of your arse, whether you're the manager, the captain, one of the senior players in that dressing room, it's tonight. And like I said at the start of the stream, that speech should be something along the lines of, the whole world expects you to have your ass handed to you here tonight. The whole world is writing you off. Remind them why you play for Liverpool Football Club. Remind them why you won the Premier League last year. Remind them why you came over here last year and got a win. It's up to you now, boys. They're doubting you. Time to answer or prove them that they're right, one or the other. Something along those lines is what's needed. No bullshit, waffle. Just go out there, do what you have to do, work hard, give it everything. Be brave, because mistakes could happen, but you need to be brave. You need to go out there and back yourself. Thoughts on Ange for the Liverpool manager? He's more charisma than Slot and will have a better connection with the fans. No, not for me. I like Ange. I really do. I think he's a lovely lad. Obviously speaks really fondly about the club as he grew up supporting it with his dad as well. But I just don't think he's the right man for us. But certainly, like I said, a really likable fella. And what I like about him is that he doesn't give a fuck. And I mean that in a nice way. He doesn't care what people think of him. He's comfortable in his own skin. And I like that about Ange Postecoglou. Even if PSG win by 3 or 4 goals, Liverpool have turned things around in ties before. Yeah, but context. Context is needed. So it's one thing turning around these ties when you're in a title race with City and it's you're neck and neck and you've got confidence, and then, that's one thing. But doing it with where we've been, yeah, you don't want to be losing this game by 3 or 4 after losing to Manchester City by 3. That would just, or by 4, excuse me. That would just be yeah, that would just be no. It would be impossible. Connor just said, just throw on Into the Groove by Madonna and they'll be flying. No, it's obviously only one song. Fucking Eye of the Tiger, Crosby. Come on. That's it. Just on loop in the dressing room. Eye of the Tiger. Little bit of Avicii just before you're walking out, and then boom. Players walking out going... You want to go out there and have them PSG lads thinking you're nuts. They're walking up to shake your hand and you're growling at them, just fucking focused on them, just like saying, oh, it's coming, motherfucker. Yeah, that's what I'd be. Getting in their heads in any way possible. Pinching them, winding them up, just doing everything to rile them up as much as you can. If we win this, Salah just might get the Ballon d'Or that has eluded him for all those years. There's absolutely zero chance, zero, that he wins a Ballon d'Or this year. And I say that with a heavy heart because he hasn't had a good season. And even if Liverpool go in the Champions League, numerically, he hasn't had a great season. So, yeah, I just don't think there's any chance. Do you know what, though? I do think I might stick a few quid on Harry Kane for the Ballon d'Or because the season he's having was 49 goals in 41 games or something for Bayern. World Cup to come in England as well. Yeah, I might stick a sneaky few quid on him. And who would have thought we'd be maybe talking about that a few years ago? That bench, PSG 1, Liverpool 2. Come on, Red, said Danny Bingham. Yeah, bench is good. Just would prefer if there wasn't 2 keepers on it again. So, this report from Paris Hawkins said, Mohamed Salah starts on the bench tonight for PSG versus Liverpool. Bold choice by Arne Slot. The Reds will line up with a 3-man defence, Canade, Van Dijk and Gomez. So it is seemingly a back 3, which intrigues me. I'm sure if Alonso's watching, it'll intrigue him as well. Luis Diaz has been really good as well. Yeah, see, it was really funny because I remember when Bayern were signing Luis Diaz, and I remember a lot of their fans were unhappy about it, thinking they're getting a Premier League cast off or whatever. But, I think they very quickly realised that, yes, they're getting a very good player in Luis Diaz. And, we understand why he moved on from Liverpool. They couldn't agree numbers and he's on a very high wage there. But if you're a Bayern fan this year, you're probably not going to be disappointed with the return for investment you're getting there from Lucho. James Pearce said, 1 second, the last game that Liverpool started with a Champions League or Premier League game with a back 3 was away in December 2017 against Brighton with Yaldum, Chan and Lovren forming the back line. Big call from Slot as he tries to nullify Paris Saint-Germain's threat. It is a big call, absolutely. Let's see if it works out. Mr. Grantby said, our confidence is so fragile right now that any mistake that leads to a goal will cause us to collapse again. We need to be 100% for 90 minutes to have any chance. Yeah, look, they've got to make sure that if the worst happens, that they don't capitulate. That the next 5 minutes are keep it simple, stay tight, nothing stupid, don't let your heads go. Mark said, no music, it's just them watching Mock the Week. Nothing wrong with a bit of Mock the Week. I really enjoyed, actually, the new season of Mock the Week and thoroughly enjoyed every episode. Actually, usually I hate the best of clips, but the last episode with all the outtakes and stuff was probably my favourite. I loved it. Ben La said, if we win tonight, I believe we can go all the way. So look, the semi-final's always been one that I've looked at concerned because, of course, the second leg of that for us will be away from home, either at the Santiago Bernabeu or at the Allianz over in Munich. So it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, look, you won't fear anyone if you can get through this game tonight. You'll respect whoever your opponent is because you don't get to the semi-final of the Champions League unless you've got something about you. But yeah, it's a big game tonight. Big game. Biggest one of the season without a doubt. If Isak decides the music in the bus, it's going to be a lot of ABBA and Avicii, I'm sure. I don't like ABBA. I'm very against the grain on that one. I think it's because when I worked as a DJ when I was younger and some of the things I used to do were functions and stuff, you just got fed up of ABBA. You know, you just know somebody walking up towards you of a certain demographic as well is going to ask for ABBA, and I fucking hate ABBA. I've heard too many ABBA songs over the years. Fasal, as a United fan, hope I'm welcome. You asked me this the last day, dude. I told you you're always welcome in here, mate. Everybody is. You know, we're a football channel at heart, and we just want people to be respectful towards each other. So you said, as a United fan, hope I'm welcome. My prediction, 5-1 PSG. Get the fuck out, Faisal. Get the fuck out, dude. 5-1. Now, all jokes aside, I hope it isn't that, mate. I really do. I couldn't handle another massive defeat. It would be just too demoralising, you know, because football as a fan, mate, is all about a bit of hope, isn't it? And if that hope is extinguished, yeah. Hope you guys lose, no disrespect. Look, I wouldn't have it any other way, mate. You know, if United were playing, that would be reversed as well. But appreciate you being in with us, my man. The lineup's pretty good. Hopefully Frimpong will force another own goal. I feel like they can pull off a surprise like they did against Madrid. I don't think the Madrid game was really a surprise, to be honest. You know, it was at Anfield. They weren't in a good place. Well, they're not in a great place all season, to be fair. But I kind of expected that win, in all honesty. Tonight, though, yeah, that is a different one. Right, on this, if Van Dijk, Gravenberch or Jones receive a yellow card against PSG, they'll be suspended for the return quarterfinal at Anfield next week, post-LFC transfer room. So do keep an eye on that one. Obviously, Jones is on the bench, but Gravenberch and Van Dijk certainly ones to keep an eye on. And no doubt, Paris Saint-Germain and their players are going to be aware of that as well, because these things are something that you keep in mind. Mohammed, how are you, dude? Mohammed Sadiq, hope you're well, bro. Nice to see you in. Hope you're having a good week. You're the go, Craig. Up the Reds. Thank you, my man. I've been reading and seeing so many lovely comments lately. Really appreciate it. You know, today I've just come in with the attitude of, I got to be positive. I got to at least give them the benefit of the doubt till the game starts and see how we get on. Because if you can't dream on nights like this, what's the point? You know, what's the point? And tonight is the biggest night of the season. So they need to put in the biggest performance of the season. Again, they were written off, understandably, ahead of this one by most of us, to be honest. But, like somebody said earlier on, if it all clicks, if we play to the best of our abilities, we're capable of something. The real Johnny Sins hates, how are we? Said, this is a game where no passengers can be afforded or players who miss big chances in big games and then smirk afterwards. Mo had to be dropped today. Thank you, Arna. I've no qualms about Mo being dropped. Excuse me. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it does make a difference. Energy levels are going to be important in this one, and aggressiveness is going to be important in this one. So like you said, dude, and I agree, we can't carry any passengers. I do think a bit of freedom for Wirtz in the attacking end of the pitch, like I've mentioned before, for obvious reasons. But yes, defensively, people are going to need to pull their socks up and get back into shape. I know you know what I mean. My hatred of Ed Sheeran songs is legendary. It might be worse than my hatred of the Bee Gees. I love Ed Sheeran. Oh, dude, we're on different sides of this fence. I will defend Ed Sheeran forever for many reasons. One, his granny lives and is from my town, so Ed Sheeran's not it's not unusual to have seen Ed Sheeran in and around Wexford, and he's been over quite a bit. And I've been to see Ed Sheeran shows. I think I've been to 4 of them. and loved every single one of them. I love Ed Sheeran. I do. I've got a real soft spot for him. I love his music. I love him as a fella. So yeah, we're definitely on different sides of this one. But your hatred of the Bee Gees, again, one of my favourite ever songs is "You Win Again" from the Bee Gees. So yeah, I'm glad we can empathise, but with the music selection, I'm on the other side, mate. As I said, the Bee Gees' "You Win Again" was one of my favourite songs. But yeah, the ABBA stuff, I don't know, it just makes me cringe. There's just too much bollocks goes along with ABBA music. But appreciate you, Gary, as always. Thanks for making me smile, my friend. Jacko said, I would absolutely take a scrappy 1-0 win. Same as last year, 100%. If we left there tonight with a 1-0 win, it's Red Panty night, definitely. Yeah, I'm a Swedish and I hate ABBA. Avicii, Europe and Eddie Medusa are the best artists we have. Not like Ireland with U2, Tin Lizzy and Rory Gallagher. Look, we're blessed on our little island with some incredible musical talent. Aslan would have been one of my favourite Irish bands of all time. May Christie rest in peace. But yeah, I'm not a fan of U2, personally. Respect the music that they've written. But for me, Aslan would have been where I've been at. Tin Lizzy, if Brian's watching, Brian's a huge Tin Lizzy fan. LFC USA, massive Tin Lizzy fan. Actually, the first time he came over, the last time he came over, sorry, and I met him at the graveyard beside Phil Lynnett's grave. So he always pays a visit every time he comes over to Dublin. But yeah, we've been blessed musically. Great little country in that regard. Don't forget the Cranberries in there as well. I know it's off topic, but who do you think is better, Elise or Yamal? Love the channel. Yamal will be a better player, but Elise is having an absolutely phenomenal season. And he's only 24 as well, which is, feels like Elise's been on the scene for a long time. So yeah, 24 years of age, having an unbelievable season. But like I always tried to say, rather than say which one is better, you're not arguing if you've got any of them in your team, are you? You're blessed if you've got either one of them. They're both a joy to watch. Vastuev said, expecting a big performance from Florian. He'll never walk alone. Yep, so am I. It's time to shine. It's time to show up. It's time to remind everybody why Liverpool paid what they paid. Could you not see yourself as a dancing queen? Maybe. I do like a little boogie, mate. I'm often found dancing around the living room, making up stupid songs on the way. I do love, my house is quite an emotional house one way or the other, It's not unusual for me and my wife to be screaming and debating and arguing 1 minute and dancing and laughing another minute. What you see on here from me on camera is pretty much our lives. We're a very emotional family. And it confuses a lot of people. You might see us arguing and then having a laugh, as I said, a moment later. I don't know if that's just an Irish thing, but yeah, we just we're a very aggro family. And Bewitched, exactly. Say you will, say you won't, say you'll do what I don't, say it's true, say to me, wanna say la vie. I'm not going to go into the dancing now for you. Nor did I get the Levi's branding deal that they got. Where's my deal, Adidas? Come on. Show the fat man some love. I could be your, Irish Missy Elliott. Little Adidas Craig crossover. That's the dream anyway. What's my score prediction? I went 3-1 Mohammed all week, but the ballsy side of me feels 2-2 tonight, so let's wait and see. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. Could it be a 3-4-3 with Kirkett and Frimpong wingbacks? It is some variation of a 3 at the back, yeah. Whether it's a 3-4-3 or not exactly, we'll figure it out. But yeah, looking like there's wingbacks in there anyway, so let's wait and see what way exactly we take to the pitch. Look, we'll figure it out as we go along, but it's confirmed by a couple of journals that we are looking at a 3 at the back. Only said muted. Excuse me, my singing is phenomenal, sir. The new album dropping soon. I'm probably about to unveil a Croke Park show. Katie Taylor can't do a Croke Park gig, but I can. My musical talent. Are you joking me? You know, I'm up there with the best of what Ireland has to offer. You know, myself, Enya, I see no difference. Except I wouldn't rip you off with the ticket prices, you know. There'd be no premium 400 quid packages for me. Just a straight 39.95. Come see Craig in Croke Park. I'll be the guy cowering in the corner shitting himself. Best singer this side of Leinster. Darn tootin'. Darn tootin'. You're right. What about the Wolf Tones? Oh, yes. Yes. So I've only been to see the Wolf Tones live once. And it was a really cool night because it was in the Temple Theatre in Dublin. And I was the designated driver that night. So I was on the Diet Cokes. But I still found myself on a table dancing. It was one of the most adrenaline-filled gigs I've ever been to. And this has gone back 26 years, maybe. My daughter has been to see them as well. I think I've told this story a few times. Let the People Sing was the first record I ever had. And as a child growing up, it was pinned on my bedroom door with a little thumbtack through the middle of the record. Loved it. Loved the Wolf Tones. Streets of New York is one of my favourite songs of all time. My dad, when he was drunk, would always sing the Wolf Tones song. So I had no choice but to love the Wolf Tones. And my grandfather was very good friends as well. I know he's not from the Wolf Tones, but was very good friends with some really influential Irish musicians and poets. So, yeah, wasn't unusual to see Ronnie Drew around. Yeah, you're bringing me back, mate. I'm reminiscing here. Sorry. I'm not holding out much hope for a win, said Mark. Way to bring the mood down, Mark. Come on, Mark. I get where you're coming from, dude. I get where you're coming from. And thank you, Mark. 17 months as a member. Appreciate you. Am I a fan of Christy Moore? Of course. Joxer Goes to Stuttgart. One of the best songs ever written. Incredible. Again, got to see Christy Moore when I was younger. Loved it. Never actually got to see Aslan live, which I really regret. My wife's seen them a few times in midnight at the Olympia shows back in the day. But these days I'm more into my stand-up comedy. You know, if myself and Mrs. Anfield Agenda go out for an evening, it's usually to a stand-up comedy show. Now that I am a comedian, you know, doing gigs in comedy clubs, you know, it's good to check out the competition out there. Myself, Dave Chappelle, you know, all the big ones. My cousin saw RHCP at Slane Castle. Best gig ever. Never been to Slane for a gig, which is, been to Parc. Still can't believe in that. Went to see Oasis and the Prodigy. Same gig. I think it was 96, if my memory's right. Which was, again, just incredible to see those two on the same day. Can you do a boogie if we win? Mate, if we win, I'd probably be climbing up and dry humping the camera. So a boogie could be the last of your concerns at that point. You could be saying, Craig, put some clothes back on, dude. We all know I'm not averse to getting nips out on the big occasion. Although I've put on a little bit more timber since the last unveiling of the boys. Easy win incoming. Keep smiling, Craig. Love it, Des. Love it. And hopefully you're right, my man. 2 years as well as a member. Thank you so much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to enter our giveaway. We are giving away one signed item every single month in 2026, and it's only possible because of our incredible friends at the collectorscorner.co.uk. If you're like me and you're a fan of merchandise, signed items, whether it's music, whether it's UFC, whether it's boxing, whether it's sport, football, check out the Collectors Corner. I've treated myself to a lot of stuff for the new studio in there with their help, and they're giving us one item every month. This month, it's a Charles Oliveira UFC signed glove. Scan the QR code on the screen. That'll bring you into the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp, where you will see all the information on how to enter the giveaway. You can choose to have it framed or unframed, whatever suits your needs. And if you'd like to get 20% off anything you see on there, you can use the code Anfield Agenda 1 at checkout to get that discount. And I promise you, I speak from experience on this one, you will not be disappointed. I've been collecting signed memorabilia since I was a teenager, and I have not found a company, and I say this sincerely, with as much consistency of delivery of product at a top level than our friends at the Collector's Corner. I've bought, I don't think I'm exaggerating to say, 15 to 20 items over the last 2 years from them. Never a mistake, never an issue. Just couldn't recommend them highly enough. And there's something I'm often asked by people, where can I get some signed memorabilia that's legit? The Collector's Corner, definitely the way to go. North, South Ireland, and where? Because I come from Northern Ireland. I'm originally from Dublin, my friend, so very much down in the south. Originally from Dublin, have lived in Wexford now for, in total in Wexford now, probably about 18 years. In this particular house, close to 15 years. So at the moment we live in Gorey, which is North County Wexford, the last town pretty much, bar Inch, I think, before you come into Wicklow. Craig, hope you and the family are well. Love your passion and energy. We'll take the win. Absolutely. And thank you for your kind words and your support, my friend. It really means a lot. Those of you that have spent your hard-earned money to give us a super chat, become a member, or even those that just come in to contribute comments and support, means the world to us. It really, really does. We don't take you for granted, and we appreciate that. Thank you. Craig, I'm scared. Make me feel better somehow. So what you're saying is you want me to write the team tune, sing the team tune, make you feel better somehow. We won over there last year. Maybe we can see a little reverse of that. Of course, obviously last year we had Alison Becker performing absolute heroics, but big day for Georgie as well. I don't think we win, and I don't want us to win, said Eddie Cox-Wilkins. Again, appreciate your stance, Eddie. Appreciate your 32 month support of us as well, my friend. But let's wait and see what happens. You know, this is it. It's time to shit or get off the pot. No more wiggle room left. It's put in a performance tonight. Remind them why we are 6 times champions of Europe. So, fingers crossed. Craig, if I offered you 2-1 to PSG, would you take that result? I think, honestly, yeah. I think I would. And not just against PSG. A 1-goal deficit with a home leg to come in any knockout stage of the Champions League, it's achievable. It's winnable. So, yes, I think I would. Now, can we get that in the chat, actually in a poll, Connor? If you're watching, I'll end this one. Can you ask that question to our friend just mentioned there? If you were offered a 2-1 loss tonight, would you take it? I'm really interested to see how people would feel about that one. I would. I have to say I would. Craig, if we win, broccoli. Oh, on this, anybody watch The Pit? Yeah, I'm bringing it around to broccoli, don't worry. Anybody watch The Pit? So we were watching it the other day, and there was one man in there that just couldn't breathe. And why couldn't he breathe? Because there was motherfucking broccoli stuck in his throat. And the face on my wife when the doctor in the show pulled the broccoli out of his throat, she turned and looked at me and said, I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew you were going to blame this on broccoli. Do you know what I mean? They're even writing it into TV shows now. That's how dangerous this green little fucker is. So again, eat broccoli, but be careful. Be careful, kids. Don't let mommy and daddy fool you. It's the devil's food. Plenty of good vegetables out there to look at, but broccoli ain't it, kids. Broccoli ain't it. Nuclear. Oh, God of the week, that's in it, mate. Calm down. Calm down. Appreciate you, my man. So, yeah, if you watch Pit, you'll know what I'm talking about. That broccoli was in there causing trouble. Trying to kill people, it is. You never seen anybody dying with a bit of chocolate, did you? No, never happened. So, broccoli. Even Mighty Red knew what was up with the broccoli slander. I called Mighty Red the broccoli of mascots once, and actually put up a post the next day of him as a piece of broccoli. I'm not joking. It was like one of the most incredible things ever. I'm going to show you it now because I still have the image. But Mighty Red genuinely did put up a post the day after we called him the broccoli of mascots. He put up a post on X, the real Mighty Red, of him with a broccoli head. Here you go. I mean, look at that. Look at that from Mighty Red. Absolute legend. I used to have beef with Mighty Red, but right now, dude's got game. So yeah, Mighty Red out there. You know, the club might want to turn their back on Anfield Agenda, but the man inside the Mighty Red costume, or the lady, the person inside the Mighty Red costume knows what's up. When Connor sent that to me, I honestly couldn't believe it. Like, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Joe, Joker Gaming said, love a bit of broccoli with gravy on it. See, even you admit you have to cover it up with something to make it palatable. Do you know what I mean? See, you're not saying, I love me a bit of raw broccoli, Craig. I love it. I get it and I get all tingly down below. No, you're like, I have to eat broccoli. So I slather it in the full Sam Allardyce and just try to get it down somehow. The truth's coming out there, Joker Gaming. Truth's coming out, bro. So, yeah. Keep the broccoli slander coming because it's the devil's food. Look, it's no surprise to you I'm not a fan of vegetables. Let's be honest. You're looking at me, you're thinking, Craig, we love you, but you're a big fat mess. So we know you don't eat vegetables, and I don't. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not against a carrot every now and again. Fucking, I married one. I produced one. Some images AI can't recreate. Exactly. And that's a genuine post. You can look up. I don't know if the post's still on the Mighty Red account or if somebody told them to take it down. But come on now. Mighty Red with a bit of banter. We love it. Is Slot a spoofer? Massive spoofer. Yep. Absolutely. Just had broccoli with my dinner and a bit of garlic and butter and some salmon. See, nobody says I didn't have... See this? Everybody that's trying to talk about broccoli had to do something to make it edible. Do you know what I mean? Can't just say, oh, I enjoyed me some broccoli. No, had to eat some broccoli with X or Y. I rest my case. Appreciate you, my friend, though. Thank you. Nuclear said, Pep Blinders is what happens when somebody doesn't care about loyalty and only cares about themselves. Would be great if those were valued. I guess psychopaths make it to the top. Yeah, so Pep Blinders is the Conor Ben of football coaches. I come to that conclusion the other day. I absolutely despise that slimy prick. And I mean that sincerely. And I don't, you watch me, I don't really go into the whole calling anybody a rat thing. I don't. It's not really something I do. But this dude is the epitome of fuck you. Writing a book called Our Identity. Fought for years with Jurgen against the scourge of Manchester City. Came out and said, I'm never going to be a number 2 again. And what does he do? Slithers his way to Manchester to join up with the Empire, is what I'd call it. Yeah, just no time for him. No respect left for him. Just, yeah, don't. And I'm not going to dress it up. I hate him. I can't stand him. It's absolutely disgusting what he did to run down there and do that. And I don't need Jurgen or anybody else to come and tell us anything to try and justify it. It's pathetic. Can I just say, I watch a lot, but you're a legend. Thank you, Mitchell. Appreciate that. Look, mate, I love what I do. Blessed to do this. Sometimes I'm down in the dumps. Sometimes I'm a little bit moody, but... You know, sometimes I then remind myself how lucky I am. Every night I get to come in here, chat with thousands of people, discuss the club we love, try to figure shit out, get through life together, ups, downs and indifferent, and appreciate you all for it. Am I watching The Beast versus Fury? I probably will. I was watching... What's this? The Scourge of Man City. You want them to beat Arsenal, you fool. You fool. When did I say I wanted them to beat Arsenal? So you're putting words in my mouth, Calvin, that I never said. Man City are a disgrace. And I never wanted them to beat Arsenal. I've always said if Arsenal win the league, full play, fair play to them. So I think if there's a fool here, my mate, you need to look a bit closer to home. Now stop bringing the mood down, dickhead. Let us have a bit of fun. Come on. Are our players average? I don't know their penis sizes, mate. Jesus, that's a bit of a detail there, isn't it? I don't know. You know, they're not average. No, sorry. I'm still talking about penises there for some reason. They're not average, no. They're very good players, but they have a coach who is about as inspiring of broccoli. As broccoli, I should say. Excuse me. You're the only Liverpool fan I like. Being a Chelsea fan is rough. I can imagine. I mean, I don't know what Todd Bowley's on. I don't know the direction that Chelsea are headed in. It certainly sums up the scattergun approach to the way they went about transfers, mate. Yeah, it must be tough because, you know, I'm not going to lie. There are times where I think Chelsea have taken the piss financially over the years with some of the stuff they've gotten away with, but they've somehow always managed to be competitive and win things as well. So I understand why you're feeling at the minute as well, because, you know, I've got Cole Palmer flirting with a move away, Enzo flirting with a move away, Cucurella not really nailing his colours to the mast. So, yeah, between us, I think it'll be whoever's the most consistently inconsistent will miss out. But thank you. I appreciate that, mate. I really do, Ant. Sprouts or broccoli? I've never tasted a sprout, so I can't answer. And genuinely, that's it. Like, why would I want to eat a little boiled baby cabbage? Yeah, I've never had never had a sprout ever. The only way I ever see people eating them is fried in a pan with some butter and bacon or something. But yeah, don't know. Never had a sprout. Sabrina, come here for a minute. Here's where the banter starts. Question. As a woman who puts a lot of things in her mouth.
Sorry. No.
I'm talking about vegetables. Get your mind out of the gutter, love.
You didn't use the word food.
If you had to let me finish.
Things.
If you had to let me finish.
Like I just put everything in my mouth.
Anywho. So, broccoli
No.
versus Brussels sprouts.
Oh, Brussels sprouts are all types wrong.
Brussels sprouts are all types of wrong. I've never seen you cook a Brussels sprout in the house.
That's because they're disgusting. They smell bad when you cook them. They taste bad when you eat them.
Hang on, no. You have come in here to boiling cabbage and you're telling me about sprouts.
They're like baby cabbages.
They are. I said that a minute ago. Maybe I said baby lettuces, but...
They're like a disgusting baby cabbage.
So, broccoli. Everybody so far who's tried to justify broccoli's existence, and I told them about the pit. I told them about the pit. But everybody who's tried to say it to me said, I love a bit of broccoli with X or Y.
Mash.
No. I mean like gravy or garlic and salt, or... Nobody says I just love broccoli.
I do.
I know you do. And I know you do because you eat it all the time. But why? Why? It's not nice. Don't be giving me this shit. It's not nice. That's like me saying to you that semen's good for your skin. We both know I'm full of it. Like,
it's much nicer than its even cousin cauliflower that looks like it but tastes nothing like it.
No. So you're definitely team broccoli.
Yeah, because some bits are soft on it and then the rest of the stem is crunchy. So you get soft.
Are we still talking about broccoli here?
Same thing.
Thank you.
It's best with potato and gravy.
See? Gravy snuck back in there. Snuck back in. See? Once again, another little, it's best with gravy.
Potato, sweet corn, broccoli. Nom.
I told him about the pit. I told him about the murderous broccoli. Choking the poor man.
When I was sitting there watching that, I went, oh, here we go. Now he has an excuse to never eat broccoli. Look, that man nearly died of broccoli, nearly killed him.
Sprouts give you smelly farts. I don't need sprouts for that.
Broccoli.
So what you're saying is, by me not eating broccoli, I'm being courteous to you and the family.
Because every bodybuilder in that gym I go to has broccoli on their meals, and you don't want to be behind any of them. It's disgusting, crap dusting everywhere.
Yeah, you don't want to be behind any of them. It's best them being behind you, isn't that right?
Fuck.
Woo! Oh, you can't set me up with this and not think it's coming.
They all stink. It's disgusting.
Right, thank you. You gotta love gravy though. I'm not a mad fan of gravy. I very rarely. In fact, I wouldn't eat gravy, but unless I was having a stew or something. I'd never put gravy on a dinner. That's what baked beans are for. I'm that much of a child that when I got married, we were going through the wedding menu and sorting out everything, and I said, I don't give a shit what everybody's having. I need a tin of beans on my wedding day. So whatever the dinner is, I'm fine with it, but make sure Craig has a little bowl of beans there. And that was it. Wedding day dinner, everybody was tucking into their, I think it was roast beef if I remember correctly, and I was having my baked beans, roast beef, Yorkshire pudding, mashed potato. Job done. Best of luck from a Celtic fan. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you, Morton. No, that wasn't Morton. That was Aero. Apology, mate. Right, anywho. So we've all come to the conclusion that broccoli is the devil's food. We're all on board with that one. The showcase said, "Evening, Craig, looking handsome as ever. Thank you. How are you feeling about this game? Feeling a little more confident with Isak back?" I'm trying to talk myself into confidence, but I'm excited. We've got 19 minutes to go till kick-off. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, and it can't be much worse than Manchester City, surely. So it's only up from here. That's at least what I'm trying to tell myself. Asparagus. Never tried asparagus either. No, never tried asparagus. I'd eat carrots, peas, but like when I say peas, I mean processed peas in a tin, not frozen sweet peas. Don't like mushy peas either. That's it. That's about it for me on vegetables. Yeah. And again, I'm only eating carrot if it's in a stew. Do you agree with benching Salah and having Frimpong right wing? Well, it looks, Echtillo, like it's going to be wing back for Frimpong. So the talk is that we're going with a back three. Do I agree with dropping Salah? I understand it, is probably the fairest I can be about it. Yeah, I understand it because apart from anything, and you've heard me say this before, I'm always for looking to the future. So go back a few seasons and we've seen players who were coming towards the end of their deals and stuff. I am always about building the next Liverpool team and looking to the future. And, that doesn't say you just have to automatically throw Salah on the bench. But if he's not performing to the levels we know he's capable of, and he's not the only one, yeah, I'm never against looking to what might come down the line and looking to a different setup, because we're going to have to figure that out at some point anyway. Andrew said, "Craig, what's the crack? My YouTube channel is going well. 37k views, 26 subs. Blind faith, but Liverpool always performs in Europe when it counts. Much love." So, here's a little tip for you. I don't know if you put out shorts or whatever, but if you're putting out a short, make sure your first sentence is an attention grabber. You've got to come out with that bold statement in the first sentence to grab people's attention. I'm still trying to figure out the short side of it, to be honest. I'm made for longer form content, so yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that. But yeah, wishing you the very best with it, Andrew, and keep going. Keep going. I hope the score doesn't look like a phone number. Same. Yeah, same, my friend. Look, I'll acknowledge that this could be a disastrous evening, but I got to keep the faith and hope that we could maybe silence a few doubters and do something miraculous. Right, so Arne Slot did not confirm or deny whether it's a back five or not. With this lineup, I can do multiple things, and you can see who we start when the game starts. Also, on Salah being benched, he said this: "I think this is probably one of the first times this season that I had to make very, very, very hard decisions. Not completely the first time, but far too many times this season I hardly didn't have to make a decision because of injured players. Players are not able to play 90, so I had to mix them up with 2 or 3 players playing 45. Now, for the first part of the season, I have players on the bench, not completely the first time, but for the first time, multiple players on the bench that can impact the game. It's not only Mo, it's Isak, it's Robbo, it's Jones, it's Chiesa, Neone, Rio. I think I forgot one. That's maybe a completely normal thing for a club, but unfortunately that hasn't happened a lot this season. So, again, trying to give a bit of an inkling as to why he put Mo on the bench. And he's not wrong about the impact we could get off the bench today when you do look at Rio, Isak, Salah on there. Craig, what do you think the plans are in the transfer window with Mo leaving? So, the club will tell you that maybe the plans aren't fully contingent on Champions League qualification, but I think it certainly will give us that financial boost if we have that Champions League qualification. What I'm expecting is a multifaceted attacking fast forward. So maybe Yan Diamonde, somebody along those lines. Other than that, we need a defensive midfielder. In the earlier video, I talked about the fact that Manchester City are confident that they've won the race to sign Elliot Anderson. So Liverpool have to do something in that regard. And after that, what will we do at right back? Who will leave potentially is going to be a big question as well. Dave said, "Craig, please run through the team and the bench. Can't make it out on my phone." Yeah, no problem, Dave. Happy to do it, my man. So, in net today, obviously, Georgie Bamberdarsvili. We think it's a back three. So, let's go Gomez, Kanade and Van Dijk. Wing back positions, Kirkes and Frimpong. Then it's Gravenberch, McAllister and Soboslai, Wirtz and Ekatike. So, that's the starting 11, Dave. The bench today for Liverpool is as follows. Woodman, Muscure, Isak, Salah, Chiesa, Jones, Gakpo, Robbo, Nioni and Engamoa. That is the Liverpool team and bench. The PSV team, Safonov in goal, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho and Nuno Mendes making up the back four. Zaire, Emery, Vitinha and João Neves in midfield. Desiree Doué on the right, Ousmane Dembele through the middle and Kavisha Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side. The bench for PSG is... where's the PSG bench? 1 second. Actually, I don't have the PSG bench. I don't think. Yeah, I don't have the PSG bench to hand. Apologies. Craig, my autocorrect can't seem to let itself type slot. Yeah, there's a few things my autocorrect changes to, and probably speaks. Obviously, it does speak to the bad language that I use quite a bit, probably. You speak to Lee Gunner post fallout with Jez. Sad. I didn't. I have been messaging Lee. In fact, I messaged him last night. We exchanged a couple of messages, but didn't mention anything to me about a fallout. Yeah, so I really don't know what has happened there. I'll certainly chat with Lee about it, and I'm always here for Lee if he needs any support or even just somebody to vent to. So Lee's probably my best mate in this industry. Certainly the one that I've gotten along with the best and have a long-standing relationship with. Lee came and spent some time with me and my family, and we were in Spain last year, and we went to an Elche game together. So yeah, love Lee to bits. A lot of time from, but didn't know about a fallout. But I will certainly ask about it. Don't have much to say, but loves the lives. Hoping for a win today. Thank you, Benzo. Appreciate you. Really do appreciate your support of the channel as well, mate. Thank you, and yeah, fingers crossed for a win. Who's Muscure? Goalkeeper. So yes, here's the PSG bench. Thank you, Connor. So it's Beraldo, Zabarani, Ramos, Kang Yin, Lucas Hernandez, Mayulu, Pedro Fernandez, Lucas Chevalier, the goalkeeper, Mbaye and Renato Marin. So there is the bench for PSG. Right, our poll is running as well at the bottom. Would you take a 2-1 loss tonight if it was offered to you right now? So keep voting on this one. We'll let it go a couple of more minutes and then we'll knock it on the head. We've got 12 minutes to go till kickoff. This is where I ask you to pay your entrance fee and hit that like button for me. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'd love you to do that. Tonight, we're hoping to close into 377,000 subscribers. So every one of you that hits that button makes a big difference. And also, last shout before we get going for our giveaway. You can win a signed Charles Oliveira UFC glove completely free. Up to you whether you'd like it framed or unframed, depending on your circumstances. Let us know. You can scan the QR code below or use the link in the description to enter the giveaway. Brought to you with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. And don't forget, if you see something at thecollectorscorner.co.uk that takes your fancy, you can get 20% off with our code Anfield Agenda 1. They've recently done sit-ins with Dennis Bergkamp. They've done sit-ins with Charles Oliveira. So... doesn't matter what club you support. They have plenty of music stuff in there. Other sports stars, Rory McIlroy. They've got some signed items from him. Novak Djokovic. Really, really good choice on there. Saying he has players but puts 2 goalies on the bench. I know, Gary. But look, I've come to accept that this season, unfortunately. Do you think we're going to park the bus? I don't think we know how to park the bus. In all honesty, Oliver, I don't think we're capable of parking the bus, because if you're parking the bus, you're backing yourself, defensively, and yeah, I don't feel we have that luxury. We're Liverpool talking about a 2-1 loss, sad times. Well, look, to be fair, it is, but also on top of that, we are playing the reigning Champions League holders in their own backyard. So, normally, if you come out of a first leg against a really good opponent with a 1-goal loss, you at least think, okay, we're in this, at Anfield, get a quick early goal, turn it around. So I get where you're coming from, but it was just something that somebody asked earlier on to me, and I just thought it'd be an interesting one to put it out to you guys and see what you think. The fuck is that lineup? Pooping myself. The lineup I don't mind. In all honesty, I don't. Would have liked to have seen Rio given a chance just for why not? Nothing left to lose. Outside of that, I think I understand the team. It's up to them now to go out there and perform and show what they're about. Ronald said, I think the boys will turn up tonight. They've got to. This is it. No more time. It's season's on the line tonight with regards to the Champions League in particular. We're looking to make sure we get into the competition next year, but quarter-final time, you'd like to think we're dreaming about being in Budapest for the final. If Jurgen was manager, we'd be expecting nothing but a 3-0 win. I mean, I'd probably still go 2-2 at that point. PSG at home are no mugs in Europe. You see the attacking talent they have. Now, look, they've no Barcola. Obviously, he's out with an injury, but they still have Doué. They still have Ousmane Dembele. They still have Kavisha Kvaratskhelia. And then, of course, that really good midfield as well. Brian, how are you, sir? Said, I know this will never happen, but Alonso as manager and Gerrard as assistant. What you think? I wouldn't... I don't know how impossible that is. It would be up to Alonso, obviously, if he decided. Like, Alonso has his team, but if he wanted to add Gerrard into it, I think we'd all be happy with that. Imagine the aura on the sideline or in the dressing room with those two standing there. It would be incredible. It really would. I would be all over that, mate. Yeah, sign me up for that. Would I take Brendan Rodgers as coach instead of Arne Slot? No, I wouldn't, Hassan. No, I wouldn't. No, that 13-14 season was an entertaining one, certainly. But no, Brendan Rodgers frustrated me quite a bit with the way he threw players under the bus and talked some absolute garbage. Gerrard flopped as manager at Saudi. Right, what's that got to do with him coming in to be an assistant to Alonso? I don't get it. We're not asking for Gerrard to be given the job. We talked about him as an interim, of course, but he also won a league, went invincible, I think, with Rangers, stopping Celtic from 10 in a row, if my memory's right. But, like I said, it would only be as an assistant. Nobody be here shouting for Gerrard to be given a 3-year contract to manage Liverpool. If this goes to penalties, at least we won't have to face, in my opinion, the best keeper in the world for pens. Gigi is a huge loss to this side. It is weird that they were so open to letting him leave because, Chevalier is shite. And by the way, he was on Liverpool's list as well before they looked at getting Georgie in. And I'm certainly glad we went down the Georgie route, although he still has some proving to do as well. So, it's looking loud, intimidating, and dark at the minute over there in Paris. There's a bit of a light show and a big tifo going up as well. So, let's wait and see what happens. We've got 5 minutes to go till kickoff. If you can't, please do hit that like button for me. And again, if you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to do that as well. Craig, just woke up, 4:30 a.m. This game better be worth it. Hope you're well. I hope it's worth it as well. Now, if I could ask you a little favour, do keep me up to date with what's going on in the Barcelona Atleti game as well. Really enjoyed last night's game between Bayern and Real Madrid. I thought that was a really good, entertaining game of football. Staying up late. Hope not be disappointing, said Hateems. Yeah, look, I get it, dude. Who knows what version of us is going to show up today, but fingers crossed. Slot thinks PSG water bottles filled with softener. I don't know, Gary. That's gone over my head, dude. Sorry. Yeah, they really are trying to ramp the crowd up here with some flames and, light show and a huge big tifo of the Incredible Hulk ripping a Liverpool logo apart or something along those lines. Stephen Gerrard gave me the worst year of my life as a Celtic fan, so no thanks. Again, as an assistant? Oh, man, I'd love him as an assistant. Be great. Yeah, I understand he meant fabric softener, but I still don't get this. Slot things PSG water bottles filled with fabric softener. I don't know what he means by that. Right, folks. It's nearly time. Biggest game of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. Massive, massive night in Paris. We obviously want this tie to be still in the mix when it comes back to Anfield. Dare we dream of a victory? We'll find out soon enough. Let's end this poll anyway. We asked you guys, would you take a 2-1 loss tonight over in Paris? Which would mean, of course, the tie would still be possible back at Anfield. And 58% said you would. And 42% said you would not. Again, a reminder, tonight after the game, we will, of course, have our live match reaction, player ratings video as well, coming up later on. Appreciate you all being in here with us. Massive, massive night in store. The nerves are really kicking in now, folks. Let me just make sure that my clock is ready to go. Cool, that's good to go. Right, two teams are walking out now onto the pitch in Paris. David, how are you, mate? Said, good morning, Craig. How do you think this will go? My optimistic side is trying for a 2-2 draw, David, but my prediction was for a 3-1 loss. I just want to see us start and continue with fight. You know, I say this so many times, but I say it because it's true. Football fans will forgive a lot, but they won't forgive a perceived lack of effort out there from the players. So fingers crossed we at least show some metal tonight. Oh, now I get you, Gary. Sorry, I get you, bro. Slot said they were a washing machine. Yeah, that did go over my head initially. Thank you, my man. We did ask people, by the way, in the comments of the video earlier on to let me know if PSG are a washing machine, what kitchen utensil are Liverpool? There was one answer that I thought was absolutely spot on. I can't remember what it was now. Somebody gave me a brilliant answer in the comments. I can't remember what it was, but I remember thinking it was brilliant. Was it a sieve because we let everything through? No, it was better than that. I can't remember what it was. Craig, bag of nerves, not going to lie. Much love. We're all a bag of nerves tonight, bro. We're a 10 quid milk frother from Aldi middle aisle, said Connor. Potato peeler. Tea towel. Today we make history, Craig. Garbage disposal. We don't really have garbage disposals over here. In the sense that we don't have the, put it down the sink, press the button thing. A spork, somebody said. That was in the comments. I remember that one. Definitely do remember seeing a spork, all right. But there was one more comment that was brilliant. I just can't for the life remember what it was. I'm watching the match but having you as commentary. Love that. Love that. Mark and Charity, appreciate you. A trash can, a chocolate teapot, an air fryer, Fairway liquid. Anything that's broken. Lobster fork. Is it what? I didn't even know there was such a thing as a lobster fork. Then again, I've never eaten lobster, so. Right. The coin toss is done. Handshakes are happening, and we are about to get underway in Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, let me fly through the teams for you. For PSG, it's Sofanov, Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, João Neves, Vitinha, Zaire, Emery, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele and Doué. For Liverpool, it is Georgi Mamardashvili in goal. We believe it's a back three of Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. In midfield then, we're going to have McAllister, Gravenberch with Frimpong and Milos Kerkez in the wing back positions. At least that's what we think. Florian Wirtz then operating in the number 10 role. Ekitike up top. And fingers crossed Dominic Szoboszlai puts in a good shift as well. Right. Sit back. Try your best to relax and we'll stick and get through this together. There's going to be a minute's silence ahead of the game. It's a 4-2-3-1. No, a lot of the journalists are saying it's a back three, mate. James Pearce, Fabrice Hawkins, and a few others were saying that they believe it's a back three that we're playing with tonight. No Salah, no Gakpo. We might have a chance. Come on, the boys. Come on. Come on, red men. Right, about to get underway. Liverpool playing from left to right in the first half. Come on, boys. Quick start. Let's go. Nothing silly. No mistakes. Plenty of fight and effort. And we'll see how we get on tonight. Sit back, relax, and let me try and take you through the game as best as I can. Again, thank you to everyone that has subscribed and hit the like button. If you haven't done so, please do just before we get underway. We're closing in on 377,000 subscribers. Looks like we're doing this kickoff again and we boot it straight down to the corner flag. Everyone's set up to go on the left-hand side there for us. It's like a rugby restart, this. Right, folks, we are underway. Maka goes back to Canade. He takes a touch and immediately launches the ball out long left-hand side, doing, as we say, the decent thing. Couple of headers won there, but the ball goes out of play and it'll be a Paris Saint-Germain throw in halfway inside their own half on the far side of the pitch. Thank you, PSG, for honouring Diogo. Definitely reciprocate that, mate. Right, goal kick. Liverpool closed down with McAllister blocking a PSG ball forward, but it does go behind for a Paris Saint-Germain goal kick. Right, big one this, big one. We'll sync up at 1 minute for everybody, so we're on the same wavelength. So, ladies and gents, about 10 seconds, and then we'll sync up. Thoughts on Kirkes? I like him. Obviously, still got developing to do, but really, really glad we signed him. Right, folks, we are now coming up to 1 minute. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right, throw in PSG on the halfway line. They go back. Pacho. Cross to Marquinhos. Out to Doué. Liverpool press comes on. They're forced to go back to the keeper. Keeper spreads the ball long. Definitely is a back three because Gomez is left side of the back three. So it's 100% the back three. But Frimpong dropping back into shape there as well to help out a little bit. Whereas Kirkes at the moment is further forward pressing Vitinha. But it 100% is a back three. You can see that with Gomez on the left side of it. Now, here comes Frimpong to press. PSG go into the space vacated by him. Hakimi now sprays the ball over. McAllister's there to clear it for Liverpool. It's back though with Vitinha. Dembele. Liverpool shuffle across. Frimpong goes out. Kvaratskhelia there with him. PSG forced to go backwards. Again, good press from Liverpool. PSG have it centre of the park. Szoboszlai, the furthest man forward here for Liverpool at the moment. PSG tried to switch it out to Kvaratskhelia. Frimpong wins the ball, but a header from Wirtz gives the ball straight back to PSG. Nuno Mendes now. Vitinha. He spreads it across right side to Marquinhos. Dembele drops into a bit of space halfway inside the Liverpool half and receives it. It's going to have to be a lot of running off the ball, a lot of hard work tonight. They're going to have to try and keep concentration. 3 minutes in, though, so far. Paris Saint-Germain still in possession, as they have done for the last minute or so. Again, good press. Come on, Don. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Vitinha carries it out. Ekitike steps in. Vitinha goes right side to Hakimi. Back to Marquinhos. Come on, you red men. Come on. Vitinha. Doué. The fluidity of that PSG team it reminds me so much of us in the early days under Jurgen, with forwards dropping in and out of positions and almost having a bit more free rein to take up pockets of space and somebody then going into cover. You can see they're a very well drilled side. Vitinha again. Still PSG in possession, just moving around, and Liverpool going from side to side in shape. Are we playing a back five or am I tripping? No, we're definitely playing with a back three of centre backs. And then in possession, or out of possession, excuse me, Kirkes and Frimpong have dropped back in. But you're not wrong, mate. It's Gomez, left side of a back three. Vitinha now breaks the line, goes out left to Kvaratskhelia. Wirtz comes out there to help Frimpong. Kvaratskhelia cuts inside. Some neat, intricate play here from PSG. Sees them maintain possession and work it out right side. Good movement for them off the ball. Liverpool again with everybody back here trying to help out defensively. Feels like PSG have had this ball now for the last 2.5 minutes. Again, look at this. Look where Kvaratskhelia is now. There's just so much fluidity in their attack. Kvaratskhelia now on the right-hand side. He switched up with Doué, who's dropped into the left side. Now, they tried to go in behind Milos Kerkez, looking for Kvaratskhelia, but Kerkez was aware of it and the ball was overhit, so it goes behind for a goal kick. Tuedo said, love your commentary, Craig. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. I'm going to try my best to keep you up to date with what is happening, just in case you can't watch it. It's basically been attack versus defence so far, as PSG have been maintaining possession and Liverpool not really seen much of the ball. Liverpool go long now to Szoboszlai. He plays it out off a Paris Saint-Germain player for Liverpool throw-in, halfway inside the PSG half, right-hand side. Six minutes on the clock. Looks like we're going to go along with this one as Verge is coming up from the back. Look, we should be trying to make these height advantages that we have work. 3 centre-backs on the pitch. We might as well try and get the most out of them from any set pieces that we can. It's Joe Gomez now taking it, so obviously he can't be involved in the penalty area, but fingers crossed we can cause some havoc here from this. Here it goes. Ball in from Joe. Van Dijk flicks it on. PSG hook it away. Kerkez should be back there for Liverpool, but he's forced to go all the way back to Georgi Mamardashvili. Georgie now launches it out left side, looking for Hugo. Flicks it on to Wirtz. I think he was offside though. Referee plays an advantage as PSG are in possession now. They play it forward. It's with Kvaratskhelia, who's dropped back into the left-hand side. Dembele coming deep looking for the ball. Now it's out with Desiree Doué. Again, they go into that space vacated by our fullback, and this time it's Kvaratskhelia who does pick, or excuse me, Hakimi who does receive the ball. Liverpool get a foot in and win it back, but it's straight back to Marquinhos. Hakimi. Dembele. It's just so much fluidity and movement. It really is, I would say, a joy to watch, but when you're playing against them, it isn't. But so fluid, this PSG attack. Vitinha. Ball played straight to Van Dijk. Szoboszlai. And Liverpool just can't get out though. PSG have it back again. They try to go in behind Kerkez, who calmly sees that one out for a goal kick. Certainly shaping up for a bit of a training ground match, this one, at defence versus attack. But what we've got to do is make sure that when we do win the ball back, we have an option to try and counter quickly, which we just didn't have there. Won the ball back, but again, we were crowded out so quickly because there was no outball. Right, goal kick. Georgie to take it. So far, we're halfway through getting through the first 15 minutes without anything stupid happening or any consideration of them scoring. Ball goes out. Nuno Mendes shields it out. It'll be a throw into PSG halfway inside their own half on the near side. Liverpool playing like Burnley, said Busy Media. I think they're... Oh, here's a bit of space now for PSG. Dembele. He's got Desiree Doué to his left, but he goes right. Strike, blocked. It's back now. With João Neves, Vitinha, Marquinhos, Nuno Mendes. Look at the amount of bodies they get forward here. Every one of their outfield players is inside the Liverpool half. Again, it's just a little drop in between the lines, little pass off, trying to create a yard of space. Liverpool with everybody back behind the ball. Vitinha now. Certainly feels like Slot's gone for the, well, we're not going to play end to end. Slot's gone with an Arna low block here by the looks of it. Which is a bit ironic, right? Considering he spent his whole time deriding the Premier League and teams for coming and trying to shut up shop against us. Talked about last season's game being two teams wanting to go and win the game. Bit different this year. Vitinha to Nuno Mendes. Back to Vitinha. Ball inside. Dembele. He glides through a few Liverpool challenges. Works its way out to Doué. Again, he's given too much space. Shot 1-0. 1-0 PSG. Desiree Doué over the head of Georgie. That's not good enough goalkeeping. I'm sorry. That is not fucking good enough, Georgie. I don't know if it took a deflection, but it flies over the keeper's head. And look, my initial thoughts are Georgie should have done better. Shouldn't be beaten. It was straight above him. Fuck me. Not good enough, Georgie. Not good enough, fella. I'm sorry, that is not good enough from a goalkeeper that plays for this football club. I need to see a replay of this to see if it took a deflection, but even at that, that should not be beating him. So it goes out to Dembele. He then goes past McAllister, past Gravenberch, works his way out to Doué. He turns inside. I'm sorry, Georgie, that's bullshit. It does take a deflection off Van Dijk, but I'm sorry. Not good enough. No, it's not actually Van Dijk. It does take a deflection. But Mamardashvili's planted. Sorry, mate. You should not be getting beaten from there. Deflection or not. Not good enough. Not good enough all around, by the way. Not good enough closing them down as well. Again, it's another player with 5 yards inside our 18-yard box. So, we didn't get through the first 15 minutes without conceding. Now, let's see what they're made of. Just again, so how are we giving them so much space in our own 18-yard box to get a strike away like that? And when we did close down, it was too late. It took a ricochet off our player and looped up over the goalkeeper, who, like I said, I believe should have done better with that. It's a Liverpool free kick now, halfway inside the PSG half. Will we capitulate, said Motorhome Dreamer. Well, we're going to find out, my man. We're going to find out. Van Dijk heads it back in field. Again, though, Pacho heads it away. Kirkes back in. Kvaratskhelia back there defending now. Szoboszlai, he heads it forward. PSG win the second ball. Gomez is there and he plays it straight to a fucking PSG player. Not good enough, Joe. Not good enough. João Neves running around there. It's just, again, it's just not good enough. Not good enough. $500 million to park the bus against Farmers, said Andrew. I mean, mate, I don't know what to say. I can't push back on your comment because you ain't wrong. Again, I'm not calling them farmers, but you ain't wrong about this being a very, I don't know if I use the word cowardly, but a very rigid Liverpool setup. But PSG, unlike us, usually we play against low block, found a way to get the early goal. Wirtz now picks up the ball, tries to carry it forward, makes its way to Ekitike, and it's brought back for a foul from Wirtz on Nuno Mendes. Yep, he did catch his ankle. No complaints about that one. You're happy to see Isak back so quickly. Look, it's always great to have another option in the squad. So yeah, definitely happy to see him back. But sorry, man, I'm just frustrated with this start again. Now it's, as somebody said, how do we respond to this? Because what we cannot do now is let this tie get away from us. You can see PSG have no fear of us. You can see that out there. Zaire Emery now. Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, Marquinhos. So far we've been non-existent from an attacking standpoint in the game. Referee says that's a Liverpool ball on the far side. How do you guys feel about the goal, by the way? Give me your take on the goal. From the defensive perspective and from the goalkeeping perspective. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. Ball played forward from Georgie to Ekitike. Wirtz has got Frimpong with him. Plays it out to Jeremy. He puts in a low cross. Doesn't get past the first defender. It's not good enough, mate. We've won it back, though. Gravenberch, the Soboslai. Ball in. It's over everybody's head. McAllister comes over the far side to regather it. He goes back to Joe Gomez. Wirtz. Bad luck, said Bradley. I don't think it's luck, Bradley, when you're too slow to close down, mate. I don't think it is luck. Because he had 5 yards of space inside the 18-yard box, and it was that slowness to close him down which led to the deflection. If he was there a second earlier, he'd have got a block in. Very soft goal, said K_2112. Slot is destroying this team. The goal was good, but the keeper would have definitely done better, said Simon Jones. Wasn't a bad goal, just an easily savable goal. Yeah, for me, there's two parts of it. One is the fact that we gave him too much space and we didn't close him down quick enough. And then the second part is, again, the goalkeeper 2 yards, 3 yards off his line. With the height and presence he has, I don't think he should be getting beaten even with a deflection over his head. It wasn't either corner, it was straight above Georgie's head. What's this one? Same rubbish again. Acres of space for all the players out there. Our players running around like headless chickens. Errol said Canade screwed up. Yep, definitely didn't close down quick enough, dude. I can't push back with you on that one. Another stupid free kick here given away by Liverpool. Let PSG out now without any pressure. João Neves fouled by Maka. Rich Baldy said, want to know how we should press? Watch PSG. Oh, mate, they're a joy to watch. The movement is, you know, watching them and watching Bayern Munich last night, the movement off the ball and the availability of a pass for their players, I would say it's a joy to watch, but we're playing against them. But yeah, the fluidity is there and you can see how well coached they are and they know what they're supposed to do. Even just the forwards, changing up flanks as well. Why is Van Dijk ducking away from the ball? Losing it, Craig. This is something that both of our centre-backs, in my opinion, have been culpable of a lot. This trying to stand there and get a block in. We're just not quick to close people down. No way should anybody be getting 5 yards inside the 18-yard box of space. And there it was again. We're not a low block team. This doesn't make any sense, said Andrew James. Again, you're right. For a manager, Andrew, that moans about us coming up against low block teams, it's a corner here to Liverpool, and he goes and sets up exactly like that. Now, look, if he gets a result or a decent result out of it, he'll say it's justified, but it certainly isn't sticking to what apparently are his footballing principles, are they? He went out of his way to say last year it was two teams having a go, trying to play, trying to win, doing it in the right way, and right now, well, you know. Van Dijk trying to orchestrate where this is going. It's the Wirtz. Back now to Szoboszlai. He whips one in. Keeper comes out. Gets a hand on it. And PSG clear it. Liverpool, you can see there, though, Kanate can't even foul properly. Look at that. The ref brings it back for a free. Kanate can't even manage to kick the player now. He's missing players as well as the ball. Ball played in. Keeper comes out through a crowd. It's a good, strong hand from the goalkeeper. And then Zaire Emery finishes the clearance. But you can see Liverpool can cause PSG problems from set pieces. Kvaratskhelia. Again, he can't get away. Liverpool players drag him back. Free kick to PSG. Look at the space for Nuno Mendes out here again. Wirtz comes back in to help out. PSG go back. Vitinha. Pacho. Out to Marquinhos. Dembele. Zaire Emery. Now Kavisha Kvaratskhelia. Another shot, another deflection, and this time Georgie comes out and grabs it. Flag would have been up for offside anyway. Righteous Gamer said the amount Ali is out, surely it would have made more sense giving Kelleher number one spot, as I think he's a better keeper than Mamardashvili. I don't understand why we didn't keep Kelleher or didn't fight harder to keep him. Or at the very least, didn't give him a buyback option in the contract. It's a piss take. Don't know how Georgie's going to work out. Look, that remains to be seen. But what was the other part of what you said there? Surely it would have made more sense giving Kelleher number one spot. I think he's a better keeper. Ali's been linked with a move to Juventus, actually, in the newspaper in the last couple of days. So I don't know where Liverpool's heads are at. But of course, we have just triggered that 1 year contract extension that was in Ali's deal. "22 minutes into this one. If you're just joining us, it's Paris Saint-Germain 1, Liverpool 0. Desiree Doué with the goal via a deflection. Klopp had been offered 500 million for transfers. What thoughts? I grew up in the early 1990s and I've never seen a manager protected like Slot. Dutch managers never work out in the Prem. So, a lot to unpack there. Let me just look at this PSG attack, mate, and I'll come back and give you the response you deserve. 1 second. Hakimi. Liverpool win that back now with Ekitike. He's crowded out and foul free kick. So, you're right, mate. I dream about what Jurgen would have done with £500 million or £450 million. Like you, I've been so fucking annoyed at the gaslighting of journalists to fans, bringing down the shutters in support of Arne and trying to say Jurgen Klopp had bad season, that as well. What this season has done, as well as show up the issues that we have at the club, it showed up the issues that we have with the coverage of the club as well. Because so many of these cowards, and I use that word intentionally, just don't have any credibility left, you know? They're trying to back a manager that's failing over and over and over and over again, other than no other reason other than they want to be good little boys and do the club's bidding. And yeah, look, I'm sorry I keep banging on about the journalists so much, but it really gripes. It really does. It really winds me up because I know they don't believe it. I know they don't. Nobody believes that Arne Slot's the guy to take us forward. Nobody. Journalists aren't kidding anybody. All they're doing is destroying their own credibility with the fans. And look, it's their careers. Vitinha to Nuno Mendes. Inside to Kavisha Kvaratskhelia. Dembele. I just got in. No, it's going to be a long night, said Stargirl. Yeah, it was a deflection on the goal, Stargirl, but keeper, I think, could have done better, and certainly Kanade and our defenders could have done better to get out quicker to close them down. Little 1-2 here. Dembele, edge of the box. Liverpool get a challenge in. Sekatike to Soboslai. He's closed down quickly. Manages to keep possession. To Ekatike. He can't find the pass to Frimpong. PSG have it back now with Nuno Mendes. Back out to Hakimi. He rolls it down, looking for Kvaratskhelia, but Virgil's there, and Virgil plays it straight back to fucking PSG. We're just not quick enough. Again, Paris Saint-Germain are half a yard quicker on everything. Their press is better, their passing's quicker. Certainly their movement's light years ahead of ours. This is a cowardly performance from Arne. It is. He set us up here to try to do something that, let's be honest, this team is incapable of, which is going out there and being a defensively solid, rigid unit. This isn't us. And again, whatever he tries, he's not getting the response. Do these lads actually pass in training? Look, there's been a lot of talk about our training, and a lot of it comes with confidence as well, though. You know, if you're confident you're knocking the ball around, that's a different thing. But we look like we're almost second guessing everything we do, and that in turn gives you a little pause, which again slows the game down and gives them time to get into position and get blocks in, close us down. Players coming over for a little drinky poo at the minute. And Arne's trying to give some instructions there. I wonder if he's going to switch up the system. It was Gravenberch that threw a half-arse leg. See, the difference there is, a lot of other teams' defenders would have thrown themselves at that ball. Thrown their bodies towards it. Not our boys. Lazy leg out. Turkoman said Liverpool should get Yildiz and Kikir instead of Virts and Mamadashvili. So I don't disagree on either. We were linked with Ergin Kikir for quite a while, actually. So yeah, I don't know what really came of that or not. Kenan Yildiz is another very good footballer, but I'm not sure if Juventus would be open to an offer. PSG keeper there trying to play the ball out left side, puts it in no man's land, and it goes straight out for a Liverpool throw-in. Blackman Dream said, slot machine is broken. Yep. Broken, and at this stage, mate, I'd like to take a baseball bat to it and make sure that it can't be put back together. That's how bad this has got. Gravenberch now. Oh, tries to slip the ball through. That's a yellow card for Gomez, and it's, again, you can see what he was trying to do, Gomez. He was in a foot race to the ball. He wanted to keep up the pressure, and he slid in, but didn't get there. Went through the man, and the referee puts his hand into his pocket and pulls out the yellow card. Liverpool this season with definitely driving like Fiat. Fix it again tomorrow. Guest teams are allowed to park the bus in Europe. Yep, only if it's us, though. Only if it's us, mate, you know, so we can, again, have another bit of hypocrisy from the manager. Yeah, exactly. Busy media as well. So much for I hate the low block. That's it. That's it in a nutshell, mate. It's just waffle from Arne yet again. Finley. Hey, Craig. Moved in with my girlfriend this week. Nice. We love that, mate. Congrats. Hope all is going well. There he is. Mr. Thin Lizzy himself. How are we, Brian? Said it's clear we need a coach that understands the players' strengths and puts out a system that maximises them. Slot is utterly incapable. He's throwing darts at a board. Yep, he's just trying everything, Brian, at this point. But here's where I am with it. He can try whatever he wants if the players aren't feeling it and don't fear it or don't worry about any repercussions. I just think he's lost the dressing room at this point. And, you know, it's a big accusation to make, and it really isn't one that I make lightly. But what else can we think as fans? Because, as you said, he's tried a few different things, but still not getting a response from the players. And again, what really annoys me about him, Brian, is he's supposed to have his footballing philosophies that he, you know, doesn't move on. And here we are playing a low block away from home. You know, it just doesn't add up, does it, mate? Is this really everything Slot can do with this team? Apparently so, Itachi. Like, sometime the penny will drop eventually for Edwards, for Hughes, for FSG. I would say for the journalists, but they already know it. They just haven't got the balls to say it in public. The penny will drop that there is no turning this around. Frimpong, ball in, pulls it back into the box. Nobody there, and PSG calmly playing their way out from the back. Look at this, Doué just fucking strolling through again. And then McCallum, that'll be a yellow as well. You fucking idiots. Absolute idiots. This is shocking. Desiree Doué just turns them inside out, and then McAllister throws a petulant late challenge in to get a yellow. This is bullshit. This is embarrassing. How does he just stroll through three players? And then Maka has to come in with a foul to stop the attack. It's just pathetic. Guess we're giving yellows for clean starts now. Conspiracy theory. Our players are not throwing themselves forward because they're saving themselves for the World Cup. Suggesting anything at the moment. Look, I don't know. I haven't got a clue why they are playing the way they are. What I do know is that anybody at our club in any position of authority that thinks that Arne can turn this around, again, why does it have to get to the point of the damage being done before these so-called... Look, I'm sorry, I'm biting my tongue because I'm walking myself into trouble. These are supposed to be the people that remove the emotion from it, like I've said. The data-led people, and they're so full of shit that it's not even funny. Because show me any fucking data that's shown that this is working, or even looking likely to work. We've just become a team and a club full of excuses that talks about standards that we refuse to implement or we refuse to stand over. And we're just making excuses over and over and over again. And it's just ridiculous. This should have been done in November. But here we are because the brave, bold decision makers haven't got the balls to do what's right. Sadomasochistic desire to say, well, it's the Liverpool way. We don't sack managers, blah, blah, blah. PSG are a washing machine and we're getting rinsed. Yep, we absolutely are. Anyway, PSG still moving the ball about. 32.5 minutes in. Decent save from Georgian amongst all of that. PSG keeper slips clear in it, but it still finds a PSG player. Ushin said, Doué is unbelievable, would love him at our club. Oh, he's brilliant, dude. I remember last year was kind of one of the first times I really knew anything about Desiree Doué is when he came off the bench against us last year in Paris. And I remember when he came on, I was just thinking, wow, this dude's coming off their bench. Because within 5 minutes, I could see what the hype was. Hakimi. Dembele. Vitinha. Remember, this is the last resort. What is this performance? Everybody should be on fire to win today. Good challenge there for Milos Kerkez as Hakimi's looking to get in. I think he's probably fouled, so I think that's a free kick to Liverpool. Actually, it was a really good save from Georgie because it took a deflection off Macca's rear end and I had Georgie scrambling, and he does get a good strong hand on it. Well done, Georgie. Logan said, "Hey boss, first game I've picked not to watch. I'm a glutton for punishment, dude. I'll never not watch, but like I said, if Arnold's in charge next season, I don't know if I'll be sitting here in the hot seat on the channel, because this season's been the toughest one mentally for me that I've had in the 8 years we've been on here." And thank you, by the way, Logan, as well, for 25 months with us as a member. Another free kick given away by Liverpool. This time it's Kvaratskhelia fouled. Craig, I'm not getting the press. Stay strong. Look, we need something to work off as well, my man. Look, it's 1-0. I'm still optimistic to some extent, but there's been slim pickings for us to be upbeat about in this one. You know, and this is a tiring performance as well, because Liverpool are doing a lot of running off the ball side to side here as PSG are making the ball do the work, and that takes it out of you. So my fear here is that there's a second half where our legs start to go. We've already got Macca on a yellow, Joe Gomez on a yellow. What was this one from Martin? Said, "My cousin just texted me to say on the telly you can hear Slot shouting at the players, go, go, in terms of pressing, and they did nothing. He's definitely lost the dressing room." Look, and again, that's unacceptable from the players. You know, it's unacceptable. Like, nobody will ever come out and say that the players throw the towel in. But we know that they can play better than this. We know that they can work harder than this. We know that they have more aggression than this. So if they are in any way, even subconsciously, not putting the hard yards in, then that's a slap in the face to all the Liverpool fans around the world, and particularly the ones that spent their hard-earned money once again to travel over there to support them. Vitinha now. PSG deep inside their own half. Ball over the top into space. Here's Nuno Mendes. He's got Doué there with him. Doué. Good save, Georgie. Good save. That could have been 2-0. We were carved open again. Georgie comes out, makes a good save, 1-on-1. Well done, Georgie. Because we were carved open there far too easily yet again. All that took was one ball into the space behind the fullbacks. That's it. One ball. And Nuno Mendes is there, slips it into Doué, and only for Georgie comes out and smothers it. That was 2-0. And again, nowhere fucking defensively. Nowhere. Hakimi. Georgie's certainly making amends for his positioning for the goal. He's made 2 big saves over the last few minutes. Vitinha slides one through. Hakimi has a touch, but it's with Kerkez now, and he clears it straight to Kvaratskhelia. Fucking hell. And Kvaratskhelia goes side net. And what is that from Kerkez? Honestly, what the fuck was that clearance? If you're just going to put it anywhere, put some height on it and put it out for a throw-in. He gets a block in there and puts it straight out to Kvaratskhelia. Something that annoys me is that the players look uninspired, bored and clueless, which is purely a managerial issue. But it's also on them. And I'm not disagreeing, mate. My thoughts on the manager are clear. But I can't say it doesn't annoy me that these Liverpool players aren't doing more. It does. Because they're also playing for the supporters, for the shirt, for the club. And they've been paid a lot of fucking money to do it. So this bullshit attitude that we've had, this feeling sorry for ourselves shit, it's not good enough. Some big characters need to be brought into that dressing room in the summer because there isn't enough ruthlessness. There isn't enough steel in there. A couple of players have slipped. Slot's already made a note to add to his excuses for the days. Ekatike, Gomez, Gravenberch, McAllister out to Frimpong. Back to Canade. Wirtz around the top to Frimpong. Oh! Offside flag went up against them in the end. A little dink over the top. Frimpong got in behind. Offside flag went up, but he can't find the target and drags it wide anyway. Gomez, he heads it forward. Again, Liverpool lose the second ball, as we've done way too often. Dembele, Doué. I think you're being harsh on Georgie for the first goal, mate. Look, I don't think I am. And as I said, I'm speaking as a former keeper. His footwork was wrong. And he should have been able to take a backward step. And with the height he has, this wasn't at 2 yards either side of him. It was directly above his head. And yes, it took a deflection. But I genuinely think he shouldn't be getting beaten there. And on top of that, it's not only about him. The defenders should be called out for not closing down quick enough. You know, even look at the way they go to close down. It's a lazy leg thrown by Gravenberch. They're not throwing their fucking bodies in to get a block, putting themselves on the line, like you would see other teams that play with low blocks do. So, you know, fair enough if you think I've been a little bit harsh on him. I've given him credit for the 2 big saves he's made since. But defensively, again, just not willing to get dirty, get on the ground, put a block in, put their bodies in the line. Nobody stops that, Craig. Look, again, what I'm saying to you is you're set as a goalkeeper. You're 2 yards off your line. The ball ricochets over you, yes. So what does it do? One, it takes pace off the ball. So you're actually getting a little bit longer, but you do have to adjust. But remember where that ball went. It went straight over his head. So I respectfully disagree. I do think he could have had his footing a bit better. But either way, it doesn't matter now. It could have been 2-0 there again, but Dembele fluffs his lines and shoots straight at Georgie as we're ripped apart once again defensively. Look, again, it doesn't really matter who was at fault for the goal because there's plenty of blame to go around. But ultimately, the reason why the deflection happened is because nobody was closing them down quick enough. And that's something I've had a gripe with our centre-backs for a very long time. Even when they do go to get a block in, you know, watch us when we play against Everton and Tarkowski's putting blocks in, throwing his body in the way. Proper, like, taking pride in defending. Not us, we're too cool for that. We stick a leg out, you know, or put our hands behind our back and do stupid things that don't get ourselves, you know, don't get the old socks dirty. Frimpong, Soboslai, he slips it into Gravenberch and makes a nice run off the ball and then stops. Pacho stopped there and so did Gravenberch. If he had kept up, he'd have a much better chance to press him. Errol, so they're players, not Liverpool players. None of them touched the banner when exiting the tunnel at Anfield. Nessie, so the lack of seriousness towards any competition has trickled down to the players. So much for our board accepting Slot to throw away games. Yeah, this isn't a team gone out there with an attitude like Paris Saint-Germain had last year when they played us, which is, we're going to win. No, whatever happens, we're confident in our own ability and we know what we have to do and we're going to do the right things. You know, you can see the difference between the two teams again. One team is playing for the manager, full of energy, full of aggression, understand how to create the overloads, understand how to move the ball quickly. The fluidity in their attack is a joy. And then you look at us running around like headless chickens. I guess the biggest saving grace so far is that it is still 1-0. Vitinha. Again, look, I wish Liverpool could keep the ball like this. I really do. Everything is just 1-2 touch max. Just get it, move it, go into the next position, create an option for the passer. And this is a young, hungry PSG team as well. Was the average age or something like 22 and a half or 23? Look at this again. Just simple things. This is what all these rondos in training are for. Pass the ball, get into a space, move. Little triangles over and over and over again. Look at this space on the edge of the box. Strike, and thankfully dragged wide again. PSG have gotten into positions where they've been able to get strikes away without pressure on the ball 5 times in this first half. And thankfully for us, the shooting's been off because João Neves drags this one wide of the far post again. Or the near post, excuse me. It's just too easy. Slot gotta go. What are FSG scared of? I don't know if it's that they're scared of it or if they just don't give a fuck as long as the Champions League money comes in. Because I'm getting a pain in my hoop listening to journalists try to say that Champions League qualification is some type of big achievement. No, it's the bare fucking minimum. And even at that, it's still a failure. Because this club shouldn't be about 5th place in the league. I'm fed up with people talking about the Liverpool way as if the Liverpool way is to be passive, to be accepting of your fate, to be cowardly. That's not us. That's not how you build success. So 1-0 to Atleti, people are saying, and a Barca red card. Ugh. Who got sent off? If you don't mind me asking, lads, who got sent off? Right, it's half time. And it is, thankfully, just the 1-0 deficit. But if they had their shooting boots on, that could have been worse. Second half to come. Can Arna make any changes in that dressing room? Can the players find some way to get something from this game? Kubrasi, thank you. Thank you. Charles Walter, this is a joke. They're not playing for the manager. This is going through the motions here. If the board can't see this here, I'm lost. Look, they can see it. Like I've said, these aren't stupid people. I don't know. Like, when you come to do a cost-benefit analysis, I don't know what they're looking at that makes them think that keeping Arnold till the end of the season is the best opportunity to achieve even Champions League qualification. I don't see it. How could you? You know, what we have here is a continual failure and players who aren't listening and aren't inspired. So how is the idea of getting rid of him now and getting somebody in, pick who, Heidegger, Gerrard, doesn't fucking matter, anybody who can motivate, to go in there and at least get a response? Because there's some big games coming up in the league. And if we aren't at it, that's gone. Genuinely. Does anybody think that the best thing for Liverpool to do is to keep Arne Slot in charge? That gives us a better chance of achieving Champions League qualification than getting rid of him? I really don't. And that's not sensationalist. That's sincere, hand on heart. I don't know what the cost-benefit analysis is here that they look at and think sticking with this is going to be better than the unknown. Because what we do see every week is just underperforming players, uninspired players, scared players. Do we have the players to play like PSG? I would certainly not. We don't have the pace. That's one thing we don't have. But we don't have poor footballers. They're just being bereft of confidence. They've had any confidence knocked out of them. Jaden said, every day I wish we'd given Gakpo money to Lucho. Yeah, it was watching last night, mate. Watching that Bayern Munich team, it's just night and day from watching us, wasn't it? Wingers that can take players on, make something happen. You know, Elise rinsed the Real Madrid left back over and over. Diaz was causing havoc. Night and day, like I said, we're out here now hoping that we can just keep this to 1-0. And Arne, for all of us talk about it, Arne has no footballing philosophy. He's full of shit. Because Luis Enrique is a man with a footballing philosophy. Pep Guardiola is a man with a footballing philosophy that doesn't move away from his principles. Yes, can tactically tweak things. But where is the brave players? Where is the end-to-end games? Where is the confidence in the players to go out there and take on the best of Europe? What he has done tonight by setting this team up the way he has is admit that we're not good enough. Is admit that we can't match PSG. And go against everything that he professes to stand for with the style of football he wants to play. He's a fucking spoofer. And I keep saying it. Because he says something and then what we see is completely different. Oh, I hate low blocks. Premier League, low block, low block. Yeah, here we are playing with a low block. Again, and what does that tell mentally? It tells that you feel inferior to the opposition. Nimrod said, Slot has no principles and agenda. He will sell his soul to the devil to scrape a win. He cries a full season of low blocks and set pieces and literally does the same thing against PSG. Yep. And again, his pre-match press conference yesterday, he spoke about last season's game and he spoke about how it was two teams that came to play. Two teams that weren't wasting time. Two teams that were going out there to try and make something happen. And here he comes again now, changes it up and he goes to a low block. And I don't know what makes him think a low block for us is going to work because we're shit defensively. And it was clear. If you're playing with a low block, you need to buy in from the players. You need them high-fiving each other when they're getting blocks in. You need them celebrating defensive actions like their goals. We're not doing that. Look at the goal. Half-arsed, lazy leg thrown at it again. Jason said, lovely 45 minutes PSG highlight video. It's just like a training exercise for them out there, mate. Just moving the ball around, fluidity in attack. Rick Maddox said, the board won't sack, probably because of the severance pay, and they'd have to give it to him. Maybe. Look, we'll do a whip round, if it needs be, at this point, because there's no justification for keeping this failing manager in, other than either hubris, that they don't want to admit they made a mistake, or arrogance. I don't know, but it's not good enough. My uncle said Wirtz is being mismanaged because look how he played against Switzerland for Nagelsmann. I know, 100% agree with you. So, here's the way I'm going to try to summarise this. What did Arne Slot say earlier on in the season when somebody asked the question about playing with a back three? And what have the journalists written about a lot since he came in? The fact that we didn't move forwards Alonso or Amorim, any of them, because these players aren't used to a back three and these players have played in a back four most of their careers. You can go back and search that. That's what was said. And yet in our biggest game of the season, when he's openly admitted that the guys aren't used to the shape or playing with a back three, what does he do? He goes for a back three. Now, you can look at that one of two ways. You can look at it that he's trying everything he can. Any formation, anything. But again, what it isn't exuding is confidence or a belief that you're going to get this sorted. A belief that you can go out there and do it. It's just more talking out of both sides of his mouth. 1 minute they can't play in it, and then in the biggest fucking game of the season, he goes with three at the back. Now look, as I said, you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it to say, this is him leaving no stone unturned, which is what his defenders would say, or people that back him. Or you can look at it that he actually doesn't believe in the team and that he's gone out there to try and have damage limitation. Them stats are horrible. Well, let's have a look at them. Possession, 75% for PSG, 25% for Liverpool. Total shots, 0. Total shots on target, 0. PSG, what have we got? Who's that? Can you come in for a sec, Sean? Sorry, I just need to change something. Could you do me a favour, bud? Could you turn the light up for me? Not the orange one, the other one. Sorry, there's 2 dials on the back. Turn that up all the way for me if you can. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, it was getting very dark on screen. Appreciate that, Sean. Thank you. Sorry, folks. So, yeah, to get back into it, the stats are horrible. Yeah, there's nothing in it from it. Look at that, even passes for us. 118 passes. That's fucking nonsense. Grafenberg, Hugo, and Wirtz, only 3 that want the ball. Said find the pass. I don't like these long throw-ins and freaking parking the bus. Roshi said Slot doesn't want pace on the wings. He wants to spread the pitch and possess the ball with no attacking intent. Lucho was right to leave. Well, I certainly wouldn't be tripping over myself to come and play for this brand of Arne Slot football. No, Sanchez said, I just don't care anymore. If Arne is in the sideline, which makes... what makes ease this pain is that players and MG make more money than me, and why should I care for them? It's been terrible. Hey, Craig. What annoys me the most here is, again, no fight. No fight out there. I come back, it's a simple thing, I know, and forgive me for banging on about it, but watch teams that want to defend. Watch teams that take pride in keeping the ball out of the net defend. You're going to see players throwing themselves in front of the ball, bodies on the line, not a lazy leg. And that's what we have, is players that their egos aren't being matched by their performances. Batu, thank you, bro, for 9 months with us as a member. Said, man, I hate to admit it, but I would take a 1-goal deficit for the second leg. I can't accept the fact that we're underdogs, but I can understand. Look, of course we want to get back there with the game intact, but this to me is just, how do I say again without repeating myself? It's just not a performance or a setup that makes you think you believe you can get through. It feels like damage limitation more than anything else. And what really makes us think that even bringing it back to Anfield, we're going to turn this around, because they're going to come and play the exact same. Back themselves, move the ball quickly, get bodies forward. Yeah, I don't know. This is just another underwhelming evening so far. Gaz, how are you? Things have been better, bro. Things have been better. Craig, say something that you think Arnold will say after the game. It's another crap excuse. I don't know, mate. But he better not start talking about the system. If he starts banging on about the fucking system, he can do one. PSG are the European champions. And what? Oh, your statement is correct, but I don't understand what your point is. You're not in this tournament to make up numbers. You're in it because you think you can win it. And if you're at Liverpool Football Club, you should definitely feel you can win it. And PSG are a damn good team. No doubt about that. But we're Liverpool Football Club. And these players are out there playing like they're scared of their shadows. Slot hasn't got a clue, wanting to try something new, but isn't working, still thinks it's working. Open your eyes and look what it's doing, said Ashley, and thank you, Ashley. Darren said, sorry, I can see this going 3-0. Darren, mate, it could have been 3-0 already if PSG had their shooting boots on. Look at that first half, mate, and watch how many times they got into our 18-yard box and got a shot away. Dembele had one straight at the keeper. João Neves pulled one wide of the left post. Kavisha Kvaratskhelia hit the side netting. All of these, again, with players not closing them down quick enough in time to get a shot away. So if they had the shooting boots on, this could already be 3. Delusional Liverpool, PSG are miles better today. Do you understand what the word delusional means, John? Genuinely. Delusional how? Do you think we're not aware that PSG are better? Do you think we're not aware that they're more confident than us? Like, we're very aware of it, mate. Nobody's delusional. We're just fucking sick of these performances. Can't wait anymore for Xabi. I'm hoping we see a shot somewhere of Xabi's agent or Alonso somewhere inside that stadium. Because right now, again, it just feels like we're watching the movie. We know what's going to happen. We can see the killer closing in. But we're standing around watching helplessly. If Slot was a managing director working in an office and his staff produced this crap under his instruction, ruining the business, he'd be gone. We're playing shook. Exactly. And like I said, please explain to me, anybody who thinks that Arne should be given the rest of the season, why. Because playing this way, we're losing. Lost to Brighton. Lost to Wolves. Or did we draw at Wolves? Sorry. Lost to Brighton. No, we lost to Wolves, didn't we? We were drew with Spurs. Lost to Man City by 4 in the FA Cup. And now losing again to PSG. So, him in charge is giving us this as an outcome. So, how can anybody else coming in to have a go really be much worse? That's the point I guess I'm really trying to make here. How can anybody else actually be worse than this? We played well after the goal. Did we? 25% possession, not one shot in it, but we played well. Respectfully, I would disagree. Maybe we played less poorly, but I wouldn't use the word played well, personally, mate. Thinking of you in these dark times, love Farah. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you, but honestly, I think we're all just waiting to be put out of our misery on this one. And, you know, let me know if this feels familiar to you, folks. Wake up every day, look at your phone, and hope you see the news that he's fired. Is that something that you can relate to? Because that's certainly me every time I wake up. Look at my phone, see if Connor's messaged me, see if anyone's in the WhatsApp telling me he's been fired. And then you've got that deep disappointment, get out of bed and give it the, here we go again. Delusionals comparing PSG to a washing machine, said Roshi. I hope Liverpool comes back to be a joy to watch again. So do I, Ahmed, my friend. So do I. Lost 15 games this year, Craig said there. Could be 16 tonight, mate. Find the pass. Said Arne saying that we have no bench all season. Today we have the bench to make a difference. Let's see if Salah, Isak, Gaspo, Rio can change it up. So it's looking like no changes anyway from the manager at half-time. Just got married today and this is how my day ends. Well, wow. Congratulations to you. That's awesome. Congratulations to you and your spouse or husband. I don't know, mate. I don't know which side of this you're on because I don't know if you're male or female. Not that it matters either way. Congratulations to you both. Man, it doesn't even hurt anymore, said Itachi. Oh, for me, mate, it still does hurt. It does. It just isn't a surprise, is what I would say, Itachi, mate. Right, second half about to get underway. PSG to kick us off. And we're underway. And PSG just boot the ball, not even out for a throw-in. They just boot it down to give Liverpool a goal kick. That's an interesting start to the second half. One thing I miss is Jurgen's style of play. I was reading some of the comments about Jurgen on Crouchy's podcast, just talking about, again, having to get everybody on the same page to inspire them. We're not seeing much inspiration here today. I wish I'd wake up in the morning to hear he's gone, said Ryan. I'm with you on that one, Ryan, my man. But, you know, the more this goes on, the more we're all getting angrier and angrier at our own club, at the executives, at the owners. It's like they can't, it's like that they're willingly just sticking two fingers up because nobody can believe that he's the guy to turn this around. Nobody. There's just some warped sense of loyalty because he won the league last year, whereas we all have to suffer because of that. I just don't agree with it. The reason he got some luck, not luck, he got some good grace till November. And then all of that was washed up for me. And now any credit in the bank is well and truly used up. 25% possession, 0 shots. What is this team? Not good enough, unfortunately, at the minute. Right, folks, we will sync up for everybody again at 47 minutes. Apologies, but we are underway here in the second half. Throw in here to Liverpool, which Gomez will be going along with. He's moving some people around. Canade's in the box. Van Dijk's in there. Here comes the long throw in. Ball's flicked up in the air. PSG keeper comes, takes his own man out of it, but gets a hand on it. Ball's cleared by PSG, excuse me. And Frimpong goes back to Georgie. Right, we are at 47 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hakimi now, bringing it out for PSG. To Vitinha, back to Marquinhos. I used to get nervous for games. Now I just don't expect anything. It's so sad, said the gaming guru. I wouldn't say it doesn't hurt anymore. I just think I feel less surprised these days. But if we can keep this to 1-0, I'll take that as a small win. Pacho, out left side to Nuno Mendes. Kvaratskhelia. Ball played in, ricochets. Ryan Gravenberch picks it up, goes to McAllister, back to Gravenberch. Not one option there for him. Canade, he goes down the right side now to Wirtz. He rolls it off to Szoboszlai. Ekitike. Hugo. Leaning back, strikes high and wide. Goal kick. Still no shot on target. I went from slot out to slot Hughes and Edwards out. Next will be FSG out. If this goes on, I'm not willing to go backwards when we have tools, said Rolfie. I want to feel belief again, Rolfie, mate. I want to look at the team and feel excitement and hope. So they need to try and give us that something to hope for. Ekitike, Gravenberch, Frimpong, Canade, all the way back to Georgie. He plays it to Virgil. Gomez. By the way, why did somebody delete that message from Slim Jim? Lads, you can't just be deleting messages from things you don't like to see. All he said is lol at Scousers. We're allowed to be bantered. Like, let's not be snowflakes about this. Just because you see words that you don't like doesn't mean you get to delete comments and ban people. If they're being abusive, fair enough, or really spamming, but we have to be able to take banter. You know, if somebody says glory, glory, Man United, or lol at the Scousers, we have to be big enough to take that on the chin. Like, that's not abuse, that's banter. We should be letting that go, in my opinion, lads. And apart from any of that, we actually deserve that banter. Pacho. Marquinhos. Ball in behind. And look at that space. And they still managed to keep it in. My God. Hakimi to Dembele. He's dispossessed. McAllister. Szoboszlai. And look at that. He's crowded out straight away. This PSG team is like watching us under Jurgen at our best. Lose the ball and they want it back straight away. And they work hunting packs to get the ball back. It so reminds me of us in the good days under Jurgen. I know what you mean. I mean, I read that as, bro. That's how I read that anyway, mate. But thank you. Wirtz, his ball inside, is ricocheted back and blocked to another PSG player. Vitinha now carries it forward. much time. He's got fucking all day to have a look up there. Nobody in his face. Close them down, you fucking... Did you see that? Vitinha gets the ball, puts a foot on it, looks around, sees what's happening, nobody in his face. Hakimi. Corner. Joe Gomez gets back. Oh, was there a double ricochet there? I think that came back off Hakimi. But they get the corner anyway and they take it quickly. Dembele, ball breaks the edge of the box. Thankfully, the strike there from Hakimi is miles over Georgie's crossbar to goal kick. Georgie goes long. And by the way, that wasn't me trying to berate the mods. I understand, but sometimes I think we're a little bit too sensitive because we're already riled up. Oh, Dembele, that should have been 2-0. Dembele, your Ballon d'Or winner, by the way, can't fucking shoot, but they handed him a Ballon d'Or. Another one. They get to the byline, pull it back to the penalty spot. Dembele again. Look at this. Look at this. Where the fuck are you, Virgil? Where the fuck are you? Look at Virgil. The state of it. The absolute state of it from Van Dijk. Just drops off. Doesn't even pay attention to Dembele in there. 6 yards between him and Dembele as Dembele gets that shot off. Shocking. And that's supposed to be our captain. Shocking. Gary said Liverpool used to be a team. Even when they lost, he respected them. Now we just feel sorry for the fans. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, mate. I got to that point with United at one point. I almost felt a little bit of sympathy. Even there, a half chance. PSG keeper comes out, heads it. Liverpool play it back forward, but the offside flag goes up. Free kick PSG. John said Craig, we're second to everything. Unfortunately, yeah, I agree. Watch when they lose the ball, how quickly they want to win it back. And then watch us give them all the time in the world to get their head up and pick out a man. Virgil. Szoboszlai. Again, he's crowded out. PSG want it. Win it back. Hakimi brings it away. Out to Kvaratskhelia. Down the line to Dembele. Overhit though, and Virgil sees it behind for a goal kick. Expected better from Marmoush, not going to lie, being mid. Okay. Wrong chat. Gomez has been our best defender tonight by far, said Andrew. And thank you, Andrew, for 27 months with us, mate. Really appreciate you. Vitinha. We're so fortunate the PSG shooting has been off. Because they have had 5-6 gilt-edged chances to score. And their failure to hit the target is what's keeping us in this game. Ball up to Ekitike now, left side of the penalty area. He's forced wider from Pacho. He backheels a lovely ball to Wirtz. McAllister spreads one out to Jeremy Frimpong, wide right. Frimpong, cross in, deflected. Keeper punches it. That's weak goalkeeping. Gravenberch, Szoboszlai. He puts in a cross, button straight to the PSG goalkeeper. Peter said 1 shot, 30% possession, 6 times champions. Yeah, I again, like I said, I understand, mate, the banter. You know, we're not playing like a team that's European royalty. Not by a long way. Look at the fucking state of that. Did you see this? Look at the space there. If Georgie hadn't been off his line quickly, they had the whole of our half. Ball over the top. You could park 5 buses in the space that was there. It's just not switched on. Thankfully, our keeper was and came out and clears his line. My God. James said, watching this game, don't know how it's only 1-0. Yeah, we're lucky. Ekitike can't complete a single pass. He has to come off, said Treston Bird. Anyone else just straight up bored? If I was watching this as a neutral, I'd be enjoying PSG's performance. And I'd be wondering, like many people are in the chat from all different supporter bases, what's happened to Liverpool and how it's gotten this bad, because they're just having their way with us. Now, look, we've had a little bit of fight here in the second half, but we've not troubled them in any way. Gomez now wins the ball back. He carries it forward. Ekitike. Gomez. Back to Ekitike. Gravenberch. McAllister. To Kirkes. Back to Joe Gomez. PSG now back in their shape. Oh, no. Maka goes down looking for a free kick. Referee says no. Maka then jumps and... Get the fuck up! Get up and stop! He threw himself back on the ground. Get up and get into position, for fuck's sake. This is exactly what's wrong with our players. Whether that's a free kick or not, it wasn't given. And he jumps back on the ground. Get up and get into position to fuck. McAllister again, out to Frimpong. Ball crossed in. Wirtz, McAllister. Shot blocked. Liverpool appealing for a penalty. Hit his back. Kvaratskhelia out to Dembele. Now we've got defending to do. Get back. Well done, Canade. Steps in and wins it back. Sell the lot. Needs to be burned out, said that Silver Mondeo. Ekitike now runs straight into the PSG defender with the ball. Game's starting to become a bit more stretched now. Not from here, said still regret Luis Diaz sale. Such a miss. For him, though, to be fair, he wanted that move. Though did strike the PSG player's arm, but it was right down by his side. Nothing in that for me. Klopp went 3-0 down to Barca, but never thought it was over. Never die mentality. I've worried about a away result in the Champions League before slot. I never worried about a away result in the Champions League before slot. Yep. But to be fair, even at that one, mate, it was never a 3-0 game over there, was it? You know, we were... That 3-0 scoreline, I think, really flattered Barcelona. But you're right. You know, different era for us, different attitude, different character of the players. If Slot celebrates 1-0 in the post-match, sack him, said Rich Baldy. I don't think it's going to finish 1-0, mate. There's still half an hour to go here. Still no signs of any change coming anyway. Kvaratskhelia. Again, PSG moving the ball around, trying to create space to get in behind. Sky commentator saying Maka was clipped. Definitely should have been a foul. It should have been a foul, but he got back up to his feet, seen the referee's decision, and literally threw himself back onto the ground. And that, I just don't like the attitude. Yes, you're hard done by, but go back there and take that frustration out running back to defend. Vitinha again here. My German Shepherd has more fight embarked on these lot. Hakimi, good challenge, Joe. Good challenge. Well done, Joe, blocking the cross. Ball slipped into Hakimi and Joe Gomez. That's defending. Well done, Joe. More of that, please. Corner in from PSG. Cleared by Liverpool, but they have it straight back. Vitinha. To Nuno Mendes. Back to Vitinha. King said Jordan Henderson and Klopp back now. Neither of them would have accepted this defeatist crap we've been seeing lately. Do you know what? Watch the media that cover our club somehow try, if we win this, lose this, if we lose this 1-0, try to somehow take a moral victory from it, even though we've been thoroughly outplayed again. Kvaratskhelia. Pacho. Vitinha. Marquinhos. Hakimi. Out of Kirkes. Liverpool can see the throw-in on the near side. This is what happens when you don't have a proactive executive. Slot should have been gone in December. I got so much hate for that take. I was the same, mate. I think I was probably November into December, and I said the same. There's no accountability. And the acceptance of this horrendous season from some people is just, I don't get it. It's where Slot had been here for 10 years, won a bag full of trophies, and had credit in the bank. All that credit in the bank for winning the league. A lot of it was used up for me by the end of last season, by the way, where how poor we were there and how we lost the League Cup final. And it was definitely well used up for me by the time November rolled around. The PSG are nearly walking around the pitch here with the ball. There's just no threat to them really whatsoever. This performance from us is the very thing Slot moans about other teams trying to do to us. Vitinha. Out left side again to Nuno Mendes. Slot, please call Alonso. He'll explain to you how to use words correctly. Kind regards from Vienna. Look at that. Ball played in. Kvaratskhelia. 2-0. 2-0. Kvaratskhelia waltzes through the defence. Just slaloms his way in. Nobody touches him. Still has time to go around the keeper and slot it into the open net. No need to challenge him. No need to tackle him. Just fucking stand there and let him walk through, boys. Nothing to see here. 2-0 now with 25 to go. Just so easy. Just so easy. He just strolls through the defence. Look, we know he's a great player, but just no pressure on him at all. Just strolls straight through. Rubel said the 3-0 down to Barca was just an example of the Liverpool mentality, but it's gone. I know, bro, and it was, I even remember the day of that game saying to Connor, am I mad for thinking that this is possible? But look at that, just fucking hell. It's just Keystone Cop shit again. Gravenberch loses his man, can't even grab him, he can't even fucking foul him properly. 3 times Gravenberch tried to foul him there and he can't even do that. Look, one attempted grab, another attempted tackle, can't bring him down, keeper comes out, he sails around the keeper. Georgie's down there basically like this, like on a knee already, like this. Not standing up, trying to see which way he got, on a fucking knee, like this. It's like he's about to propose to him. Mamadashvili really out there about to ask him to marry him. That's what that looked like. I know that they're, fellow countrymen and all that, but you don't need to be proposing, mate. I'm so done. Give me Xabi's number now, said Leona Farrell. Leona, the money I would pay to make the phone call to sack Slot, to be allowed to be the guy to do it, the money I'd pay for that. Yes, cooked. No argument, mate. Like I said, I can take banter when we deserve it. And this season we've deserved the banter. And like I said earlier on, we've got to take it on the chin. I'm big enough to dish it out. I'm big enough to take it. That's soul destroying. Itachi said, now the collapse again. Well, I hope not. I hope not. Never seen a manager with more damage control PR. You're not wrong. And these from the very same people that profess to us about the Liverpool way, trying to accept mediocrity at every opportunity just because they want to be the good little boys that back the manager despite all the evidence to the contrary. They're not doing anyone any favours, and they're gaslighting a fan base that deserve honesty. Jaden, bye Craig, I can't. These feckers are just disappointing. I know, mate. I know. Don't blame you. Now it's just a matter of, can we even keep it to 2? Kirkes now on the attack. Cross in from him. Oh, look, he plays it to the invisible man. I don't know who Kirkes seen there, but there was nobody there when he played the ball in. Another free kick given away by Liverpool. Not from here said, FF's sake, man, sack this idiot, we look clueless. Big mistake letting Kelleher go. Georgie's thrash. Down there proposing like. I don't even know what that was. I don't even know. Like, as a goalkeeper, I don't know what that was. Because he's already committed. He's on his knee. He's made the decision. Why aren't you just down there jockeying him? Hands down by your side, standing up, trying to make him make a decision one way or the other. You're on your knee and you basically open up the 18-yard box to him. Fucking hell. Andrew said, Slot doesn't even know how to park the bus. Can we just drop Slot off at the bus depot for Amsterdam? We could save some money. Come on, bro. Thank you. Vitinha. He passes it out to Pacho. Pacho plays the ball into Kvaratskhelia. He spins away into space. Look at this. Just one-touch football. Opens us up. Now the overload. Here's Doué. Ball in. Penalty. Canade. Do you remember the reason in my preview I said I didn't want to play Canade? Do you remember that reason? Anybody watch my preview? What did I say about Canade in the preview? What did I say? He can't go full Canade and start doing Canade things. And I wouldn't play him because of that. And here we fucking are again. Sack Slot tonight. Enough is enough. Xabi will get us back and make us believe. Said Ian, other than Slot. Why are you even... Oh, he gets the ball. He gets the ball. That's no penalty. He gets the ball. Sorry. Apologies to Canada. He gets the ball. This is getting overturned. And rightly so. No. Apologies to Canada because he got the ball. This will be overturned and rightly so. Referee's gone to the monitor. It shouldn't take him a second to look at this. There. Gets the ball. Don't know what more the ref needs to see. Yellow card should be rescinded. Look, you can say maybe the first time he got the left leg. That's what they're looking at. There was a connection. And then a second follow through. No penalty. Referee says no penalty. Correct decision. and he'll rescind that yellow card. Canade's trying to G up the players. I mean, bit late, but right decision. And my apologies again to Canade because that was a fair challenge. Yeah, good challenge. Let's crowdsource money to get Slot a villa in Ibiza, ship him off, sneak Alonso into the club by shaving his head and calling him Arna. Can't look at this manager anymore. Clueless, said Charles. Oh, Wirtz strike there was headed goalwards, but Marquinhos gets a leg in and blocks it. Travelling to France by coach ain't worked, has it? No, it hasn't, Jack. Players out of position and Slot not adjusting, said Maxi. Branca said going down to give him something, Craig. So Slot talking to Sipko Hulshoff while Kirkes has a bit of cramp. I have to say, Craig, looking at Slot on the sideline makes me more sad than angry. Just relieve this man of his misery, said Nessie. Chris said this is more depressing than the Hodgson era. I would agree, because at least we knew what we were then, which wasn't very good. Big Renji said, watching Diaz yesterday balling out breaks my heart. I know. I'm again watching Elise on the other side as well, mate. Just, it was night and day. Chris said it to my man before the second. Wouldn't be surprised if they got a second. Less than a minute later, they were in. Now the collapse starts. Well, there's only 17 minutes left to go in this one, so we got let off the hook with the overturned penalty. Now, it was the right decision. And again, apologies to Canade for my initial frustrations. But yeah, you'd hope that would give them some bounce back of energy. Triple H's going to sign Canade for the WWE after tonight, said the Emir. 74 minutes to go, 16 left, and still no changes. Slot needs to go. Him and the calculator boys. Yes, the calculator kid. That's what I call Mr. Edwards. Slot, bad tactics, no identity. Cool jacket, though. It's navy. It winds me up, mate, that he's wearing navy on the sideline. 2-0 now to Atleti, by the way, in that one. Sorloth. So Atletico Madrid have seized control of that Champions League semi-final there. 2-0 up at the Nou Camp. And Barca down to 10. When Slot was appointed, I had to search him up on Google and the Football Manager database. Watch his first presser, but never took to him. And now I can't stand listening to him. So I did know who he was before he came in, because I knew he was offered the Spurs job a few years back. But as Stargirl said, Ruby, what happened to the same footballing philosophy that he's supposed to have to Klopp? Where's them similarities gone? Because this is so far removed from it. 120 million for Wirtz. Cherky clears. Look, I'm not trying to say that Wirtz has had an absolutely phenomenal season, but I genuinely... Oh, hang on. Ekatike, he forgot the ball. He forgot the ball. Sorry. To get back to your comment, Gunners. Look, Cherky's had a better season than Wirtz so far. Not going to argue about that. But hand on heart, and I'm not trying to just say this to be that guy, I really, really think Wirtz is going to come good. And I mean in a big way. You know, football, sometimes players take longer to settle in than others. I've no buyer's remorse for Wirtz at all. None. I've got remorse about how the manager's using them, all right, but I've certainly got a lot more understanding of him taking time to settle in. Another ball in there that we just about clear. PSG smother us though to win it back and we can't get out. 70th minute and no subs, ridiculous. I said he'll lose 4 of the next 5 games, Craig, and he will draw the one he doesn't lose. Well, we're playing Fulham on Saturday, and I believe I'm right in saying we've not beaten Fulham under Arna since he's been in. Nuno Mendes goes across there to shepherd that one out. Kirkes is one of the bright sparks tonight, said Chasing Vlogs. Well, what you always get from him is effort. 100% effort. Here comes a change now for PSG. I believe it's the Ziri Doué, is it? Coming off. Slot has got to go before the next leg. Put the kit man in charge, said Andrew. But we all know, mate, they'll keep him in. You know, nothing's going to change in the second leg other than the crowd will get behind us and we might have a bit more energy. But the gulf in tactical class and understanding of what the coach wants is going to be clear. So, Doué out, Kang in Lee on. 1 goal scored, 8 conceded since the Galatasaray game. Yep. Again, and I'm actually grateful that you bring these things up because it's important to point out how stark this is for us. Here comes Robbo on for Liverpool. Vert's coming off. Body language not great there from him. Gakpo and Isak about to come on. Didn't like the body language there from Verts. It just feels, again, like another player who doesn't believe in what this manager's asking. So Jones on, Gakpo on, Robertson on, Isak on. Kanade defending better than VVD. Captain who? Here's Kvaratskhelia. Ball to the back post. And thankfully Liverpool just about cleared that. But once again they were in behind us. Look at VVD there for the penalty shout. Comes out to join Kirkes and Gomez, knowing full well Kanade would be left alone to deal with 2 runners coming in to shoot. Slot has to go. And Dahi, a few minutes before that, when Dembele blasted over the bar, watch Van Dijk run away from Dembele, who pulls back to the penalty spot. Harry said, this guy should have been sacked after the PSV game. We're so poor on the ball. Nothing excitement about watching this team anymore. It's sad. Yeah. So we had that October international break where we went in on the back of 3 losses. Then he comes back and loses to United. Just, what's this? Defeat number 16 now of the season? 16 in one fucking season. Craig Hawkins, mate, if you're going to try and troll us or the community, at least learn the difference between you're and you are. What team would we have put out? It's not about the team selection. It's about the belief in the players. It's about the confidence he's unable to give them. It's about the inspiration they're clearly not receiving. So none of us are clueless and none of us are absolutely saying that the players don't deserve blame in this. But what we are saying is, mate, this manager's the common denominator over and over and over again. Had it up to here with Hugo today. Please lock in, said Kai. Kvaratskhelia. Back to Nuno Mendes. Vitinha. Hi, lovely. Shout out to Keith Riddle, please. Remember me and my one time. How are we? And welcome in. Hello to you both. Kaz and Keith. I'm just hoping we get out of here even at 2-0 at this point. What we cannot do now is concede the third. I've numbed myself so that I can control my anger and disappointment. I do not see a way out with Slot at the helm. Happy for this AA community. Well, we're happy to have you here as well, my friend. Thank you. It's tough going. It is. It's really hard going, tuning in, trying to stir yourself into some level of belief or excitement. Yeah. And remember, PSG don't have another game before the second leg because they got that game postponed. So they can just rest up and train and focus for the return leg next Tuesday, whereas we have Fulham. Hakimi to Dembele. Back to Hakimi. Strike, save by the keeper. And eventually blocked again. Georgie believes he was offside on the second one, but good save by Georgie. But again, look at this, and that ball was probably out as well. Again, PSG not having their shooting boots on has kept us in this tie. Trust me, the first coach who understands Wirtz will be successful with the team. Which, we know Alonso certainly understands them. Thankfully, Kvaratskhelia header there is miles away from goal and Liverpool survived that corner. Still 2-0. 82.5 minutes on the clock. Going to be an easy win for United in May. Can't wait. I don't know. Look, you're probably right, but the reason I'm saying I don't know is I've been on the other side of that as well, where we've played you guys when you've been absolutely dog shit coming into it and found a way to get results. So, yes, I understand why you're that confident, but who knows? I didn't expect you guys to come and beat us at Anfield either, so... Zero shots on target. I know, it's fucking shocking. We need a goal, at least, to take back, especially the way things are, said VI Jokers. I can't see where that goal's coming from here, mate, unless maybe we get a free kick or a corner or something. Marquinhos scurries back, keep the ball in play, sends it back to his keeper, who goes into Hakimi. Vitinha, back to Marquinhos, to his keeper. Keeper then, I was going to say puts the boot through, but he takes a touch first and then goes long. We can press a flower, said Robert. Can't disagree, mate. Again, look at the difference when we lose possession and they lose possession. They're in there hunting in packs. Mac again goes to ground. Referee says nothing doing. Still no Salah or Rio or even Chiesa. I know. No Rio on here to try and even get something on the counter or... look. We've said many times, he doesn't utilise the squad enough. He doesn't trust what's on his bench at all. Am I stupid or is there no real tactic system? The tactics seems to be today to just not get bitch slapped. We came over here with a defeatist mindset. We did. We came over and we put out a team there not to get overrun and slaughtered. That's it. Not to try and get at him from the game. And he'll say differently, but has the actions out there on the pitch led into that? Watching with my aunt, she's crying, slot out. Your aunt's not wrong. I'm Team Val on that one. Relentless, Rosa, thank you. Sick of slot, there's nothing to this team. Slot out, said Mash Bon. Giovanni from Bronkhorst has been a complete downgrade in identity. He doesn't build dominant defences. He builds and encourages passive ones. So I have to say I don't know all that much about Giovanni from Bronkhorst as a coach. Don't really watch Scottish football, so I didn't see him up at Rangers. But I do know Johnny Heiding was certainly a very popular person on the training ground and in the dressing room. And I've no idea how much of this season comes down to Giovanni from Bronkhorst or anybody else. The way I look at it is this. The head coach is over all of it. So buck stops with him for me. 2-0, Arna stays, or 4-0, Arna gets sacked. You choose. 2-0. Because again, like I've said, for me, rightly or wrongly, oh look, fucking hell, Frimpong can pass the ball. Now then Dembele's in. Sorry, mate. For me, I can never wish us, even if it gets rid of him, to lose by more. Dembele hits the post. Oh, did Georgie make a save there? I think it hit the post. Look, like I've said, this could have been 5, 6 or 7 if they were able to shoot properly. And that all came from Frimpong being too eager, not judging the bounce of the ball. It goes over his head. And then Dembele hits the outside of the post. Ava said, your season's like our season 23-24. Kept Ten Hag for so long when we should have sacked him and finished 7th and carried it into next season. Yep. Exactly. Look, everybody knew we should have been gone November, December time. But, you know, we didn't act and now we're suffering the consequences of it. Relentless Rosa said Slot's a joke. Look, I agree, but these players should be ashamed of themselves as well, because second best everywhere around the pitch. Not enough fight, not enough pressing, not enough aggressive pressing, excuse me. Just like I said, look at the difference when we lose possession to when they lose possession. They want it back in 2 or 3 seconds and there's 2 or 3 of them hunting down the ball. We just stand off, stand off, stand off. Blame the board for keeping this manager. Oh, don't worry, mate. I do. And Hughes and Edwards and all the people that are too afraid to be honest and speak out. Like Oliver Holt of this world. Imagine coming out there and saying, sack Arne Slot, give me a break. What the fuck are you looking at if you think he doesn't deserve to be sacked? Ruby said, you speak what most of us think. That's why we love you, mate. Oh my God. Van Dijk literally just passed the ball back to Dembele. He's like Dembele's running through on goal and Van Dijk gets it and knocks it straight back into his path, and then thankfully for us we get bodies back and close it out. This is fucking embarrassing. This is embarrassing. We've been absolutely bitch slapped again. Ava said, as a United fan, love you, Craig. I don't know if that's a compliment or a dig, but either way, thank you. Last 3 games, LLL 8-1 on aggregate. Madness. Yep. No shot on target. And we're in the 90th minute in this one for us. Watching with my aunt, and it says slot out. Fans leaving early again, said Dahi. I don't know what to say anymore, lads. The only hope you have is that they finally go, yep, get rid of him, sack him. But let's be honest about it. We got lucky there that ball from Hakimi was behind Dembele. But Virgil, look at this from Virgil. Watch. Stumbles and then plays it straight back to him. Or was it Nuno Mendes? Sorry. Struggles and then plays it straight back to him. The Virgil, genius stuff, mate. Fucking genius. Free kick there. Foul on Vitinha. Here comes Leone for garbage time. Frimpong coming off, Leone coming on. 3 minutes of stoppage time left. It was a compliment, don't worry. Thank you, Ava. Here comes Trey now for his 3 minutes of garbage time. United fan here. Your best hope of Slot being axed is not qualify for the Champions League. That would see him sacked. Keep him if you qualify. Chin up, Craig, mate. Cyclical. I know, but what really gets me, Jim Jam, mate, is we shouldn't look this bad. We shouldn't. Like, we are not a bad group. They just have no confidence left. There goes Nuno Mendes again, turning Konate inside out. And Konate basically puts a hand out, pushes him down to the ground. Referee says play on, and we get away with that one. I don't know what to say, to be honest. Lost for words for you. The worst part of it is, guys, is that I know there'll be no reaction from the club. Look, that's all Konate has now. Fucking snidey little pushes like that. Thankfully, VAR says nothing doing, check over. It epitomises all that Liverpool are not, said Andrew. What can we do to get Arne Slot sacked? Just keep speaking out, Ahmed, on social media, mate. Don't be abusive about it, but have your say. By the way, for those that said that should have been a pen, I couldn't have argued if they gave it because he clearly pushes him, but, you know, we get away with that a fair bit. Kanade and Van Dijk both do that quite a lot. So there's going to be people who are going to try to say to you that this tie's still in the balance. It isn't. Because it's going to just be a repeat at Anfield. Only for a bit of bluster from us for 15-20 minutes at the start, and then PSG will find a way in and they'll score and we'll be out. So don't buy into this bollocks about Anfield maybe being able to overturn this. We aren't overturning this with this group playing the way they are. These players are embarrassing. Stevie Boy said, so what are the Chuckle brothers waiting for? They're waiting for their balls to drop, Stevie Boy. The ball-brave decision makers haven't got the balls to make a decision. And there's the final whistle from the referee. It finishes in Paris, PSG 2, Liverpool 0. Another loss, the 16th of the season. Another embarrassing, pathetic, soulless, lifeless, passionless performance that could have been 5, 6, 7 or 8-0 and we couldn't have complained. We were absolutely blessed that they hadn't got their shooting boots on. Yeah, no, we don't, Harry. We don't need that. As Liverpool's possession even being in the high 20s, 26% we finished with, 26% possession. For a team that the manager says he's all about possession-based football, 26% possession. He's a fucking spoofer. Nick said, screw it, slot out tonight, tomorrow, get Alonso in for the long haul. The only consistency is we're sluggish and lack any ideas in all areas of the pitch. Apparently 5th place gets you Champions League. Well done, FSG. Good investment in the vision. Yeah, I know. Like, if there was no Champions League, 5th place gets you fired. But because of the coefficient, we scrape into it if we get 5th. And that's apparently enough to keep him in his job. Anybody that knows anything about football or body language or anything, look at him and look at the players. Fuck off. Honestly. Just resign, man. Have some fucking decency. Can't even be mad at Rio and Salah. Exactly. Not even bringing them off the bench. That shows you how much belief we had there tonight. That was a 2-0 drubbing because it should have been 5, 6 or 7, only for PSG didn't have the shooting boots with them. I have a €1,000 bet going with a United friend from Vienna. Liverpool finish ahead of Man United. Will I win? No. They're 6 points clear of us. And we're playing like this. No, I don't think we can turn that around, mate. I think you're going to be shelling out £1,000. James Pearce will write another article saying give Slot more time. Mad. Look, if anybody doesn't write a piece saying this was an absolute humiliation, I don't know what to say. Because we had no intensity. We had no attacking threat. We had nothing. We sat there and prayed that it wasn't embarrassing. That's what this was. A cowardly performance from a cowardly manager with players who should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Yet again. His principles don't exist. He's a spoofer. He wants to play on the front foot, possession-based football. 26% possession. Fuck off. Honestly, I don't know what more it's going to take. Please, for the love of God, get rid of this fucking clown. And by the way, some of these players need to be moved on in the summer as well because their lack of fight and grit is pathetic. The ref was unbelievable, horrible missed calls, said Kai. I'm so upset that it wasn't 8-9-0, said Branca. Nessie said, he set up for the team to lose by 4 or 5, but watch him rage Bay fans into a good game it was. He'll come in and say, I seen some things I liked, some things I didn't like, some things I didn't like. Look, I hope that those who write about this game in the footballing media landscape are honest. Are honest about how bad we are honest about how far off it we look, are honest about the lack of fight, are honest about the lack of confidence. There was a stark contrast on that pitch today. One team knows what they're doing, is full of confidence, believes in themselves and their methods. The other team is managed by Arne Slot. Enough said. Thank you about that as well, Gavin. Say keep it up, appreciate you. Slot will have a positive message about the defence. There is no positive message for me to take from this. Look, I'm going to get ready for the match reaction, folks. We will see you in 60 seconds time. Don't forget to enter a giveaway as well. Scanning that QR code not only will get you the information on how to enter the giveaway, but it'll also bring you into our WhatsApp group where you can then submit your player ratings, which we'll be recording in a while as well. So scan the QR code there. That'll bring you into the WhatsApp where you can enter the giveaway with thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner. And again, we're giving away one item every month in 2026. Thank you to Collector's Corner for all of their support. From believers to doubters, with love, Arne Slot to Ahmed. Do you think we're in the tie? No, I don't, David. And I'll explain why in the match reaction.